I can't be so low. I can still hear you, but I'm just trying to figure
All right, folks. I think we are live. What's going on? This, as you can tell, the title, the first call-in show we've ever had. Um, if you're watching live, let me go there real quick. All you gotta do is join the Discord, join a voice channel called Call In, get in the audience, request to call in, and we'll answer your shit. So, if not, then we'll continue to just answer questions through the chat, and also answer questions anyone wants to donate. Make sure to hit the like button. Gets us up in the algorithm too. Sub button.
And appreciate you guys sending in those questions.
Yeah, thanks for the
Those are
questions that
great.
were pre-asked. Appreciate it. All right, so since no one has called in yet, let me check. No one's called in yet. Okay, so the first thing we have here, first question, was
it.
someone asked Final Valley Naruto versus Sasuke. So the last fight before Shippuden ended. Someone asked, who would win? So do you guys want to give your take on that first before I give mine?
You go ahead,
Oh,
Sebastian.
I believe Naruto wholeheartedly because like any good discussion, he was holding back a lot, and let's just say Sasuke literally wouldn't have won that fight if he couldn't absorb like
The
chakra
Bijou,
whatsoever.
yeah,
Yeah,
true. What's going on,
like
Nukem? Thanks for coming in.
because Naruto literally had a shit ton of chakra reserves, like from his clan, from Kurama, RAP. If you
Yeah,
haven't seen
R.I.P. to
the
Kurama
latest
now.
part, RP to Kurama now. Fuck.
Yeah,
Oh, and that. Just that equates to everything. And plus, he had way more powerful jutsus. Not gonna lie. Like,
yeah. All right, John, you have a take.
Mm,
So it's Naruto
I'll probably
versus
go with
Sasuke.
Naruto too because, like Sebastian said, so Naruto was kind of holding back a little bit in their last battle. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'll take it. I'll give Naruto wholeheartedly on that. 'Cause I feel like
yeah,
Naruto, I think that time was really more mature
yeah.
at that
So,
point.
so basically, to break it down empirically, what's going on, Luis? And fixing Geoduck. I'm at a concert right now. It's all good. All right. By the way, folks, we don't bite unless you try to fucking talk shit. I will roast the fuck out of you. But if you're just here to ask a question, we don't bite. So, all
he
right. But
will
like I was saying,
still roast you.
yeah, I'll roast the fuck out of you if you
Don't be
come on and
scared.
talk shit. So,
If you
but
want to get roasted,
yeah, if you
we'll
want to
be
get roasted,
we'll be
please.
happy to do
Yeah,
it.
please. But like I was saying, looking at it empirically, we do know that Naruto had no killer intent or ill will towards Sasuke to try to end his life. Sasuke did, so he was throwing with lethal and he had the intention of killing, so he was throwing with lethal force, I'd say. So that's a big difference. Thanks for the $2, Luis. Appreciate it. What's going on,
No,
I mean,
Sean?
I mean, I mean,
But
we're talking
yeah,
about a guy who had a hate for his
yeah.
brother since
So
the very
and
beginning.
and there's another argument that someone gave that for Sasuke, they say that he would BFR Naruto, meaning he would send him to another dimension and let him die in some wasteland. That's not something Sasuke does in character, nor has he ever done. So that would be kind of
Ever. Not
yeah,
even in the
not even in
recent.
Boruto, yeah, against people he doesn't care about. So that would be disingenuous to assume that that would be a high probability. You could argue that it is possible, but it's not probable. It's very unlikely that he would do some shit like that. Um,
mm,
so continuing on, now we break down their arsenals. Sasuke had a lot of help. Well, to be if we're gonna be fair, I mean Naruto had Sage Mode. He was absorbing nature energy. To be fair, but
yeah,
Sasuke was absorbing Bijou chakra with lethal intent, and the fact that Naruto was able to stalemate basically all attacks while not trying to kill him implies he was superior to some degree. Maybe not blatantly superior like by leagues, but he was slightly superior enough to where he could hold back and still stalemate Sasuke's um, lethal attacks because he was trying to kill him. I mean, even Indra's arrow, which was stated to be like the strongest jutsu in Shippuden, was stalemated by Naruto when he absorbed nature energy. So Naruto is superior. I think it's kind of implied even now. I mean, I would argue they're Kishimoto wants to give off like they're pretty relative, but I think Naruto's still the top dog. You could even argue, well, it's a little different now that they're nerfed because Sasuke still has a Sharingan and fucking Naruto lost Kurama entirely. But
nerfed as
yeah,
fuck.
nerfed as fuck. But I would say that yeah, Naruto would win that one, and if especially if he had killer intent, he would win.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. So all right. So someone wants to call in. All right. Let's go ahead. How do I?
You stand before the greats.
All right.
Jay the
So
Great, playback, and Jay,
yeah.
bro.
So guys, if you guys super chat, you guys have more time, but keep it quick and concise. But yeah, all right,
Oh, you got it. Okay.
all right. Let's see if he joins. See what I'll read.
Oh, there we go.
Yo, what's up?
Hold on.
What's going on? Battle IQ wise, I think Sasuke is better in that skill. I mean, that's fair.
And you
Yeah.
failed. Next question. On to the next person.
Next.
Yo, you guys can hear me or not?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, we can hear you now.
We have
Bro,
ears.
real quick, because I wanna make this kind of short and sweet. I'm at a concert right now. I just want to say, look, bro, I appreciate all the content you do, bro. It's much appreciated, bro. And you know that I got you with them super chats, but I appreciate everything you do, bro, from the podcast to your content, bro.
Appreciate
It's
that,
much
bro.
appreciated.
Yeah, that's real love, bro.
Like, don't
Appreciate
forget, bro. Don't forget. Put in that hard work. I like your hustle, bro. It's honestly much appreciated. And thanks for answering, my past questions and the past podcasts and all that other stuff. It's fun to re-listen to the podcast. Even if I make it or not, it's nice. I just wanna let you know now that it's appreciated.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
very.
Yeah, it's appreciated. Without you guys, this shit we wouldn't be here if it weren't for you folks. So
All right, give
Yeah,
this
for real.
man-
So.
give this
Yeah,
man
but
a
I'm gonna let you
applause.
guys go because I'm at this concert right now. But yeah, so thanks again, bro. I don't know. Let me ask you. Do you think this would be like a bi-weekly, once a month kind of thing, or
yeah, we're
what
gonna
do you-
play. We're gonna play it by ear, but anywhere from 2 weeks to a month, something like that. Yeah, something like
It's
that.
because we're just so busy. We have
Yeah, we all got
different
on the grind.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right.
I'm monthly. I'm gonna try to do monthly at least. Yeah, for sure.
definitely?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely monthly.
Yeah. Well, as more people come in,
Actually, I got one question real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
No Palestine, nothing like that.
Hmm.
Like full power Itachi versus base Minato full power. Who do you think would win?
so full power Itachi versus full power base Minato. So I think the most
Yeah.
contentious
I know,
aspect.
like they have intent. Yeah, they have intent. Like they're ready to go.
The bloodlusted. All right. So the most
Yeah,
contentious
Bloodlust-
aspect. Yeah, the most contentious aspect to that would be their speed, because Itachi's shown keeping up with Casey and Naruto at the beginning of the war arc, but there's two sides. It depends on what you presuppose. Some people think KCM Naruto wasn't at full power because he was using clones. He barely started using KCM. So if you presuppose that, then you could argue base Minato would be faster. But if you presuppose that Naruto was near full power, then you could presuppose Itachi's speed would be superior to that of Minato's as well, since the Raikage says that they're relative. I presuppose that I'm somewhere in the middle, so I don't think KCM Naruto was at full speed and full capacity when he fought the Edos. So I would say most likely base Minato, unless Itachi can successfully catch him in the Genjutsu. So I would say out of 10 times, Minato would probably win around 7 times. I would say like mid diff. Itachi could win with the right conditions. If he gets him, especially if he uses Tsukuyomi, he's done. Minato's done.
Yeah, I would agree to that too.
So I think the speed advantage would go to Itachi. I mean to Minato for me. So
Perfect. Thank you. Also, I have someone that wants to say hi to you guys real quick.
sure.
Hold on.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hi.
What's up?
How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Chilling like a villain, making a killing.
Running the show. We're getting this train rolling.
We're live.
We're live. Yeah.
Love it.
Nice to meet y'all. Take care.
You too. Have a good one.
Take care, guys. All right. Take
All right.
care.
Thanks for the super
Enjoy
chat, by
the
the way.
God bless
my
you, bro.
guy.
Again, bro. Yo, thanks again, bro. God bless you, yo. Be
Sure,
safe.
bro. Be safe. All right.
Sweet. We got some fans. I love it.
Appreciate that. Appreciate the super chat too.
Yeah.
All right,
I
let
was
me read.
hoping
Let's
for a
read
shit
these
talker, but
chats
he
real
was like the
quick.
nicest, generous guy in the world.
Yeah, someone said I'm about to join the Discord now. Yeah, Sean, just join the Discord. Join call-in show. Click request, and then it'll be next up. See if there's any questions here. Someone said battle.
By the way, our opinions are basically unbiased, even if we have a favorite. Like it's
Yeah.
just
Mine-
technicality, really.
Yeah,
Mine's a little biased.
yeah, basically, when it comes to power scaling, folks, for you guys that are kind of new to it, you got to kind of put your emotions aside, because I would argue appeal to emotion is the most used like logical fallacy in the community. I would say in the world in general, from politics to religion to power scaling. Appeal to emotion is the most common logical fallacy, because people, depending on how they feel, will construct the argument, but that's a fallacious way of thinking. That's like me saying Itachi beats Madara because I like Itachi more. It's fallacious. It doesn't work. So when you're debating someone good with like skill, you don't want to use your emotion because you're gonna lose. I guarantee you that. So try to stay empirical, folks. And sometimes you gotta be rational, but don't ever be fallacious. So, all right. So another person raised their hand. Let's see what they got to ask.
Put that hand there.
By the way, folks, you guys can ask anything. So yeah, you guys can ask anything if you want.
Oh, it doesn't have to be anime related. It could be a question, a topic that you really want
You
to
can even
discuss.
talk shit, but that's at your own risk. So
Yeah. So,
Relax.
Yeah.
You will be roasted like a very nice barbecue, and we will eat you.
I'll roast you if you talk shit. All right. The next person joining.
Alrighty.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
Yo,
What's
what
up?
it is?
Hey, man, this is Sean. Good to finally talk to you, huh?
Well, what's up, bro? Thanks for being a member too on the channel.
Lily. And
We're all Chads here.
like about 3 months ago or so, I've fucking binged all of it since, man. So I really appreciate all the content and
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate
the
that.
daily discourse, you know. But yeah,
Yeah. Do you have a question or topic or anything?
yeah. So last podcast I touched up on Third Kazekage versus Tate. I just wanted to see if you had any other thoughts on that because my whole logic with that is Gara would have beaten Datara if it wasn't for the village.
Right.
And the third Kazekage was said to be the strongest Kazekage. I'm assuming that it means Gara at the beginning of Shippuden as well. So, with that being said, do you still think Datara would win, or do you think it'd be more contentious?
Against the third Kazekage.
Yeah.
So we know Sasori could beat him. So there's two arguments that you can make. So the first argument, if you're against Datara beating the third Kazekage, you could use that argument and say, well, Gara, the only reason he got defeated was because he was already handicapped defending the village. That's a fair train of logic as well, and that would mean the third Kazekage scales over him. You could argue Gara is somewhat in the level of relativity against Datara, so that means the Kazekage would be Datara. That's a fair argument, but you could counter that and say, well, when Datara was discussing when he was comparing himself to Sasori, he was kind of reluctant to admit Sasori was superior, and you could rationally say, well, that might mean there's a level of relativity. You can also counter that to be fair and say, well, that means it is rivals. But then again,
No, I agree.
but then rivals implies relativity because you're not a rival to someone that's blatantly inferior. So from that, you could argue, well, if Datara is relative to Sasori, then you could argue, well, he would do well against the Kazekage, considering Sasori literally slayed him and made him a fucking puppet. So you could argue that as well. Yeah. So if I had to pick what my personal argument is currently for that, I would say I do think Datara most likely wins, especially with the problem for the sand users are the microscopic bombs because they can go through the sand. Then you got to break down speed as well. I know that's another aspect, but I would argue Datara's speed is quite impressive when you consider how he did against CS Sasuke, who I would argue is definitely faster than Gara, and his sand.
Absolutely.
There's another thing I might as well refute. The argument that Datara sands as fast as the fourth Raikage. They show when he saves Sasuke from being killed. You have to prove that the Tiger Bomb is as fast as his fastest attack. He's going downward. It's not like he's not apping his speed with his ninjutsu. He's simply using gravity to fall on Sasuke. So some people use, Gara's sand beat the Raikage before he could fall on Sasuke. Like, well, that wasn't his full speed attack. You gotta quantify that specific attack and prove to me that it's as fast as his fastest attack, which is
Yeah, I agree 100%. Absolutely.
So
yeah, for sure.
Datara most likely beats him. He seems to have the speed for it, and he has the very problematic hacks, which especially the microscopic bombs, which only people with Sharingans can see. So I would say Datara most likely, although it is contentious for sure. So there's arguments for both sides, though.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's a very hard one to scale just because the third Kazekage has barely any feats to really scale off of.
There's a lack of ambiguity. There's definitely a lack of it. When it comes to those, you can only argue from a rational standpoint. When there's a lot of ambiguity like that, Kazekage has no feats, just an anti-feat to Sasori. That's about it. So.
Right on, man.
Agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree with myself. Yeah, it's very ambiguous and hard to really definitively say who would win, but
yeah, for
I think
sure.
it's a rational to go with for sure. So
Yeah, it's a tough one to scale. But yeah, I would lean towards Deidara. I mean, you could argue for the Kazekage as well, but
Right on, man. Well, I appreciate it. Probably just one more question, if that's
yeah,
cool.
you got it for sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on I was gonna go Hedon
Hedon.
versus CS2 Sasuke.
What do you guys want to answer that, John and Sebastian first? Hedon versus
You go ahead first.
Sebastian.
Hold on.
Hedon versus CS2 Sasuke. So basically the one that fought Deidara and the one that fought Itachi. That one versus Hedon.
Oh,
Oh shit!
Oh, well,
Oh,
then
man.
I
I
know
might
the answer to
go-
that.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Yeah,
What do you guys-
do it. No worries.
no, I think Sasuke. I mean, like he done like his only tactical move was like he was immortal, and that if he cut you and he's like literally fucking got you, like instant kill. But
Right.
Sasuke, he was battle ready. Like he was literally the most IQ motherfucker out there. It even put Shikamaru to like fear him at some point. I mean, Shikamaru could out strategize him through time and effort. But Sasuke, he had way more of an arsenal to work with. If he really wanted to, he could probably fuck him up instantly. Like I'm not gonna lie, like
Yeah, I want to agree with I'll agree with that too, but I also feel like Sasuke around that time also was a little bit in over his head around that time, and I feel like he would get caught up by Hedon if that were to happen.
So
Well, obviously he would try to break out of it, but I'm gonna go with Sasuke on this.
I would say scaling these guys empirically. So we all know how Kakashi did against Hedon. He was the superior. They might have been in the same weight class, but he was still superior to him. So they're relative with Kakashi being superior. And from that, he also states that Rasen Shuriken Naruto was damn near his level. And in fact, he was implying he surpassed him. You could imply that he surpassed him, or you could simply imply, well, they're relative at bare minimum, which is like the bare minimum
that.
threshold. And now we talk about CS2 Sasuke. I mean, fucking, he was blatantly superior to Four-Tailed Cloak Naruto, according to Rochamaro, which puts him leagues above those two that spar Kakuzu and Hedon. So I would say CS2 Sasuke would have blatant superiority in many aspects. I would argue speed. He probably could have been hit Sasuke, especially if he's using CS2. There's a multiplier.
Yeah.
AP,
Yeah.
most
And
definitely.
fight.
Yeah, and he could fly if he uses CS2. I mean, Hedon would have a huge disadvantage. The margin for error is small against him, to be fair, but I mean, people that are even relative to him can ward off getting cut by him. The only reason, yeah, go ahead.
I get the idea of that question, but he just doesn't have enough of an advantage to keep him like close to him.
And if you want to
Like-
be pedantic and say that they're bloodlusted, Sasuke could simply use a lightning type chakra use and fucking kill him in one shot. If Kirin, he could use the lightning blade, no lightning cable, he would kill him. I mean, not kill him, but behead him and take him out, incapacitate him. It wouldn't be that hard for him.
Quite honestly, I feel like a Kakuzu versus CS2 Sasuke fight would be more interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Hedon's is too low on the totem pole, to be honest.
The
Yeah.
only one that the only one that you could argue is inferior would be Zetsu. He's like at the very bottom of the Akatsuki power hierarchy. He's the weakest.
And yet he had the most control too, which was insane.
Yeah, Hedon
That's crazy.
He's not in the same weight class. CS2 Sasuke, yeah, definitely not. He's blatantly
Yeah,
inferior.
yeah.
I mean, Hedon's a cool character though. Don't get me wrong, though.
He kind of levels off at like base Kakashi level. Even that, he's still slightly inferior to base Kakashi because base Kakashi was swapping hands with him. So
It's crazy to me how Hedon was, I guess able to contend with Biju's, and he only uses Taijutsu, really. So it's kind of hard to fathom how he would go against that,
Yeah, it could seem like rationally inconsistency because it is a stated prerequisite that you got to be Biju level to be an Akatsuki. But then you look at someone like Hedon who's fucking barely dealing with Kakashi, can't even deal with him, and then you would have to assume, well, does that mean Kakashi's Biju level? It seems kind of inconsistent. Then that means Naruto Shuriken. Yeah, it seems kind of.
He always had a support. He literally had another immortal with him that could like help with his defects. That's why they were together, really.
Yeah, these duos they're made to complement each other, and there's always like a pre-established leader in these duos. Like Itachi's a leader in his, Kakuzu's a leader in his, Nagato is a leader in his with Konan. So yeah, there's always like a pre-established superior in those duos for sure. But yeah, Hidan would it's heavily likely he would be defeated. He's just not on the same level.
Because he's reckless because he's immortal. Like
Yeah.
that's what he would like.
Yeah,
He gets cocky.
exactly.
And
There's
even
a
then,
sense of brevity with them.
yeah, and they're like, as far as a personality, there seem to be somewhat opposites. If anything, the personality would favor Sasuke. Sasuke is the more calm and collected one. Hidan's more reckless because he's an immortal. That's the reason
Like,
why he
you
lost to
can-
Shikamaru, because he's reckless.
You could see that throughout like any history of like comics, anything like that. That any immortal character will not care about their damage, will not care about themselves because they know they can heal from it, or they know that it won't affect them.
Yeah, he has a god complex for sure. Yeah, Hidan has a god complex, no doubt.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Fish
Right
got
on.
buried.
No, yeah, I agree completely, guys. Yeah, for sure. Hidan's a little too.
I still want to figure out who Lord Jashin is, though.
Uh,
And we never really got
I
a full
know,
explanation
bro.
on that.
maybe in Boruto we'll find out one day.
Yeah, 'cause, like they left that out. They're talking about Lord Jashin, and I'm curious to know who.
Yeah, there was a
this guy.
filler about it, but yeah, we didn't actually get to see who Lord Jashin is.
Yeah, I wanted to see who that was, or see who it really is. Wish we would have got more information. Or if there's anyone in the chat that knows more about Lord Jashin, let us know.
If anyone knows, yeah. But yeah, those are
let
pretty
us
good
know.
questions. Do you have any final statements or questions?
Yeah, here's one more for you folks. Do you think adult Sasuke could solve the Kira case?
Adult Sasuke. Well,
Hmm.
the problem with that is, yeah, we're talking two different universes, but if we're trying to be objective and stick to, like, just basic IQ and intelligence, Sasuke definitely has some pretty good deduction skills. Would I say he has good enough to deduce things that Kira did, or that L did against Kira? Well, we got to kind of compare feats. So Sasuke's best feats, he had some good ones against Deidara. He doesn't have the amount of intellect feats to suggest his IQ's that high. You have to kind of speculate. I would say he probably, out of everyone in the Naruto-verse, he wouldn't be the most likely to solve it. Adult Sasuke as well. I would say it'd have to be someone like Shikamaru, whose whole arsenal revolves around his intelligence. So I would
Surprisingly, he's the laziest too, and he's the smartest.
Yeah, I would
I'd say
say
Minato probably too.
Minato probably could. Yeah, he has book smarts, which is definitely a prerequisite to solve the Kira case.
Yeah.
So I would say it's possible. Is it probable? That's kind of contentious. I'd say it's like 40% chance if I had to put numerical value on the chance. It's
Yeah, he would probably have speculations, but he wouldn't have a full idea of it.
Especially if you're fighting,
notice,
if you're fighting Light Yagami and in a battle of intellectual superiority, I doubt he'd defeat him. I doubt it.
Do you think Naruto would?
Oh no,
I don't think
no.
either. No.
He's kind of misrepresented for his intelligence. He's smart, but he's more chaotic. He's not like calm and collected like Light. Naruto would make mistakes. He's like, I'm gonna show my face and I'm gonna fucking catch him, and then Light writes his name in the death note. Death note's over. So yeah, he would get. He would be like, yeah, I'm gonna catch you today, and fucking Light's like, fuck out of here. Right, I'm gonna write your name down, and it's over. There's no room for error. There's like almost little to none margin for error against Light because of what he presents. But I would say Itachi would have a good shot. Minato, Shikamaru, those three are probably the best shot. And Kakashi arguably too. He has some pretty good deduction skill too. But I would probably say Shikamaru.
He's able to. Kakashi can break down a jutsu to a T.
Yeah. So I would say.
I feel like he'd be able to solve it.
I would say Shikamaru probably has the best odds. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's basically like the Sherlock Holmes of
that nigga breaks down shit in a microsecond, bro. It's ridiculous.
Kakashi is always the one that figures it out at the last possible
minute. If you want
to
talk from an empirical standpoint, Shikamaru's IQ is above 200, I think. So
yeah, which is greater than Einstein and Hawking.
Yeah, and if you want to compare, like real life characters that you could argue have similar intellect to L and Light. I mean, Elon Musk has a IQ of 150. Hawking of 160. You could argue L and Light would be around there, maybe a little more.
Let's say if Shikamaru, let's say he knew about L's abilities, and let's say he fucking legally changed his name or some shit. Do you think that would counteract?
That is a good argument. Yeah, if he comes in with the pre-established notions of what the Death Note could do, that would give him a huge advantage. If anything, Light would have felt to L if L knew the Death Note sooner. So someone of Shikamaru's ability probably would defeat him, especially if you already knew what the Death Note tells of coming in. Yeah, I would argue L probably would have beat him too, which is contentious though because they're pretty. Light and L were pretty equivalent as far as intelligence. I mean, it's implied the whole time through the narrative, and Shikamaru would argue another advantage he has is he lacks an egotistical tendency. Like Light and L were extremely egotistical. At the end of the day, it wasn't even about justice. It was more of a battle of cat and mouse. It was about intellectual superiority. I would argue L had a god complex as much as Light did, and that was detrimental to him, and that's probably why he got killed in the end. Shikamaru doesn't have that. He puts his emotions aside, so that would be
absolutely, bro.
He's 100%. More of a machine compared to Light and L. They were basically fighting out of pride at one point. He kind of lost his way along the way when it comes to L. So and Light's like messages for justice went to the wayside when he started developing like a god complex, like if he was some sort of like Judeo-Christian god or some shit like that. So yeah, for sure, I would say Shikamaru would have a good chance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those were pretty good questions for sure. All of them were.
Thanks, brother. Well, I just want to say I appreciate you in the channel and hope you grow inside.
For sure. Yeah, hopefully you get more people on this shit too.
See your progress, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Thanks for being a member again too.
Always, man. I'll keep the wave going, bro. I hope to talk to you guys soon, huh?
Sure, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Much love, man.
All right, man.
Oh, we lost Johnny.
Johnny boy.
Go.
All right. Did you guys see who raised their hand first between these two, Sebastian?
Huh?
There's two people with their hands raised. Did you see who raised their hand first? I didn't notice.
Actually, I didn't notice, but I saw Jinx first. But I think 3.
John
here for like the fattest minute.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me ask John. Where's John go?
John wants to ask a question now.
John, you want to ask a question? Yeah, give me
John, you fucking dope. Look at you, John.
All right, folks, give us a second. Get John back in, and then
we lost one of our main judges over here. So
thanks for the questions, folks. Though they're pretty good questions. John, are you like your internet fucked up or some shit? Oh, he said his Discord crashed. Okay. All right, John, just join when you can. All right. I don't know who raised their hand first, to be honest.
Fuck. Don't want to.
Should I just pick?
Yeah, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That's good.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. All right, I'm gonna pick someone. If you weren't first, I apologize. I just wasn't noticing. I was busy breaking down.
Sorry about that. Like, we will get to your question.
Yeah, we're gonna.
We promise you. We will. Okay, the other one, Jinx left. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you been seeing like what's going on with Corey Kenshin, like that situation?
Corey Kenshin, John, Sebastian, you want to answer that?
Hold up. Let me see. Hold up. Sorry, there's a lot of shit I watch. So you're gonna have to come back to me on that one later on.
Yeah, Corey Kenshin's a YouTuber.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, yeah, like he called out YouTube for a bunch of stuff. But alright, so I'm guessing you saw my question in the live chat earlier.
Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, you can stay.
It was the most recent one. It's Final Valley Naruto versus Sasuke, but like they both have full mastery over their abilities.
Oh, okay. I guess we'll break it down because we answered it earlier, but I'll answer it again. So basically, what you gotta keep in mind is the context of the fight. So Sasuke and Naruto went at it at the Valley of the End. Only one person had a killer intent, and that was Sasuke. Naruto had no killer intent. He simply wanted to take Sasuke down to bring him back to the good side. Kind of like on some Kenobi Anakin shit. So he didn't have killer intent. So from that, you can extrapolate that. Naruto being able to stalemate Sasuke's lethal blows implies his superiority. They were basically equivalent in many ways. They were going back and forth. They fought till they both collapsed. That implies relativity. With one side having killer intent and the other side lacking killer intent. So I would say Naruto is more than likely superior, even if it's just slightly. And then the argument that that Sasuke would BFR Naruto would kind of be a stretch because Sasuke never does that. He's never BFR'd an opponent. He doesn't have that tendency. You would have to talk about Obito because Obito does have that tendency to BFR people, but Sasuke does not. And there's a couple reasons why. One, it takes up a lot of chakra. He can only do it, even in Boruto, as an adult, he only did it like 2 to 3 times. So at that point, with having little to no experience over the Rinnegan, he probably wouldn't even think of that anyway. He wouldn't even think about using that anyway, really, because it heavily deplete his chakra reserves. So I would say Naruto, if they had full mastery, would most likely win. Even in Boruto, I would argue it's implying that Naruto is just slightly above Sasuke. They're pretty relative, but I would say it's very close. But I would say 5.5 times out of 10, Naruto would win. It's close though. It's really close, but Naruto has.
I have a few contentions with that. So like, I don't really see. So like, do you think Naruto like physically like his AP like with his physical strength would like damage Sasuke? Or like, are you talking about like jutsu, like the Rasen Shuriken or something?
Hand to hand. I mean, we did kind of see that they were fatigued at that point, but they were going back and forth. So it kind of implied where their taijutsu AP is at.
Because I don't think like Naruto would be able to use any sort of ninjutsu against him, because Sasuke would just absorb it.
Yeah, you could say that, but I think the relativity and speed wouldn't give Sasuke enough time. He would get hit eventually. When you're fighting someone that's relative to you in many ways, you're eventually going to get hit. If you're blatantly superior as far as speed is concerned, then yeah, he would absorb everything. But Naruto has much experience facing someone like Sasuke, so maybe he'd have a similar approach to what he had against Momoshiki. He would or against Delta, he would stick to that.
But his eyes are also a consistent chakra absorber, and they don't take little; they take a fat amount.
He knows how to battle ninjutsu absorbers. He's done it against several Otsutsuki. He's done it against Delta. So if he has full mastery like he did in his prime, and he's relative to slightly superior, he would have a strategy. So I would say, if anything, especially if he has the Kurama amplification when he's using taijutsu, his AP increases as it goes along. So I would say yes, Naruto would most likely win, especially if we're talking about in character.
So I've this like the argument I use for like this is we see in the last like the cloak from Naruto can just get absorbed because Tonari just like absorbs his cloak.
Right.
So like Sasuke, like if he amps himself with the cloak, because base to base, I think it was like portrayed like Sasuke is just obviously just like better base to base. So like if he like pulls out his cloak, I don't think like it would just amp Sasuke more. Like Sasuke could just pull him and then just absorb him. I don't really think there's anything Naruto could do against that.
It's just the argument against that is that that's not something he does in character. He's not like a Delta or a Momo. In theory, he could use it, but he's not known for using it.
Well, in character, he does do it. Because he did it in the Final Valley when like he punched Naruto in the stomach. He like
and even that kind of implies
he uses jutsu to like the final moment, or else he'll just absorb it.
That very encounter in itself kind of proved Naruto superior, because even with him using that, he still failed. That kind of implies Naruto superiority.
I mean, he only failed because like his eye failed out and he like blanked out.
Yeah,
like,
that was
even then.
That was with the Bijou. So without the Bijou, he would have a significant amount less.
No, that was without it, because that was after they both fell and they were like fighting hand to hand in the Final Valley. And then Sasuke was like, "I need more Bijou chakra," but like the Rinnegan was like taking up too much of this chakra, and then they just hand to hand fought.
I think the way chakra works though is that it gradually depletes. So he had that advantage. Naruto.
Well, no, I think chakra gradually like you get more back. I don't think it gradually like takes away from you.
I mean, if you're battling, it gradually depletes until you're exhausted, and in that case, you would die. Once you're completely depleted, you're dead. So without the Bijou, Sasuke would never get that upper hand anyway, because he wouldn't have all that huge reserve behind in the back of his pocket. So that was a big.
I don't even think it like.
That was a big
advantage. I don't even think it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that was a big advantage.
Like, I don't even. Yeah, go. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't even think it gets to that point. Like the first encounter when they like clash or whatever, I think Sasuke would just like in character, because he does this. He just like takes chakra from like, if he deems it necessary, he will just like take your chakra. So like he would probably just do that against Naruto with like full mastery of the Rinnegan.
I mean, we could speculate, but empirically, that's just usually not the case. Even against upper tier characters like a Momoshiki or a Jigen, it's very unlikely. And those guys are blatantly superior to him, or Fused Momo, I should say, not base. But people that are
Yeah.
blatantly superior, he still doesn't do that. So I doubt he do
And
it to
then-
someone that's relative.
So here's another question, unless
Alright.
like someone else wants to come up.
Oh yeah, you can ask one more. That's fine.
Okay, do you think who do you think would win, like version 2 Karma Jigen or Ishiki?
What do you think, Sebastian? So version 2, the one that fought, I think version 2.
Like the one with the horn.
Yeah, the one with the horn versus Ishiki, the one that fought Baryon mode. Who do you think wins, Sebastian? I think it's blatantly
'Cause
stated. I think it's blatantly
like-
stated by Amato though that Ishiki is superior to the Jigen vessel. I think that was stated by Amato himself.
So I have like a very weird argument for it. So my argument for like Jigen being over is that like in the fight, his body was starting to break from like all the power he was exerting.
Yeah.
But then like when he turned Jigen's body into Ishiki, he said he had like 2 days, implying like he wasn't using as much power. Like his body could like contain more power than like it's the same body. He just like transformed it. So it's like
I see what you're saying.
I think it's more implied that way.
So yeah, I think that would kind of depend on what you presuppose his body fading away means. If you think like Ishiki, as time went on, he was intentionally using less chakra because he didn't want his life force to go away. Then I guess that's an argument you could use. But then you'd have to quantify the difference in chakra when he's at full power compared to version 2 Jigen. And I think Amato's statement kind of solidifies that Ishiki is just superior at full power. But it's not outlandish to say that the case is that Ishiki is just holding back because he doesn't want to fade away any faster. That's a fair argument as well. But I think if we're talking about blatantly full power Ishiki versus blatant full power version 2 Jigen, then Amato's statement would prove who's stronger. But you could use the argument as far as like over time. That's fair, yeah.
Well, I gotta go, but like thanks.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Like, I was kind of bored, so yeah. I see.
Appreciate it.
That's a hard one. I would have said Ishiki
I mean,
in general.
yeah, Amato blatantly stated Ishiki.
Okay, I'm back.
Amato
Jesus.
blatantly stated Ishiki though. That's the problem. So Ishiki's stronger. I mean,
Hey, can y'all hear me?
he created the fucking vessel. Oh,
Yeah, I
we
can hear you.
Yeah. All right. So next question
Okay.
up. Let's see if anyone has anything in the chat real quick. By the way, folks, you
That
can still
was
ask
weird.
questions in the
It
chat
just
if you want, though. And if
that
you
was
super chat,
weird. It just said, "Oh, you crashed."
that happened to me a few days ago, actually too. You guys can call in, or you can still ask questions in the YouTube live chat as well. So go ahead and ask as well. All right, so someone has their hand up. Let's go ahead and. By the way, folks, hit the like button, and it gets us up in the algorithm. All right, next question.
Hit the subscribe as well.
Yeah, make sure to hit the sub button. Yo.
The 3 lip on Nook.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Got ears.
Alright, so I just wanted to say, hope y'all having a good day. You know, thank you for bringing me in.
Yeah, for sure.
No problem. Hope you have a good
So,
day too, boss.
Thank you, man, thank you. But I have a quick, simple question. I have a couple questions, but I'm gonna start off with the simple one.
All right.
So, out of all dojutsus in Naruto,
Mhm.
and I'm not talking about like in the series Shippuden and Boruto, but like out of all dojutsus, which do y'all think is the best?
The best as far as you mean power wise or like aesthetically, like the coolest?
We'll just say both.
Both? Okay, so power wise first. You guys want to answer that first, John? Sebastian? What do you think is the most powerful dojutsu? So the Sharingan, the
Powerful
Rinnegan, there's the Rene
dojutsu.
Sharingan, there's the Tensagon, which is still kind of ambiguous.
Honestly,
Probably go with the Rinne.
like if you're gonna put
It's just the
Tensagon
way-
in the Sharingan, like I would personally pick the Resting Sharingan because it just had more capabilities than.
Yeah, and it's
like,
kind of it'd be kind of tough to say the Tensagon too because it's still ambiguous what it exactly entails of and what's its upper limits. So
I know we only got one movie of it, and that was
Yeah,
it.
so-
As the Resting Sharingan,
yeah, I guess we
see
can kind of throw that to the
iterations.
side, yeah, because its Tentagon's still unknown. Yeah, for sure. So, what do you think, John?
I'll probably go with the Rinne Sharingan.
Yeah, so
To be honest, 'cause we've seen what it's capable of, and it could do a lot.
yeah,
So I'm
that's
gonna
some
go
of the
with
most
that.
impressive.
And I
feats.
think
So,
it's cool too.
yeah, so
Yeah.
for me,
Plus, the greatest implication is just to absorb chakra. I mean, Tensagon doesn't go into that massive detail into that, but it's just blatantly obvious
yeah.
for the Resting Sharingan.
So, excluding the Tensagons because there's too much ambiguity. Yeah, the Rene Sharingan displays the most impressive of feats. I mean, we see what Sasuke has done with it. You can also argue it depends on who has the eye, but what we have seen from the Rene Sharingan is he could react to Otsutsuki level threats like Hinchiki, Momoshiki, Bait, Fused Momo. He was even able to react to fucking Jigen. He wasn't able to react to Ishiki, to be fair. Not even his Sharingan could keep up. But
Yeah, I know, right?
he was able to keep up with some extremely powerful foes that you could argue were even superior to himself. So he's able to use that weird. I don't know what the whole name is. The fucking teleportation swap jutsu. It's a weird ass name, but so the Rene Sharingan, objectively speaking, is more than likely the most powerful dojutsu ever. Until we learn more of the Tensagon, maybe Boruto fucking his dojutsu becomes superior. It probably will. Let's be honest.
Yeah. It's good that you mentioned the swap because I think that's the greatest go fuck yourself like jutsu in the entire Naruto series, Boruto included. And because that's literally flustering your opponent.
Especially if you want to break it down empirically and like break down the like in a quantitative fashion what it's capable of. I mean, its reaction times are fucking vast. Like it's able to react to Jigen, it's able to react to Fused Momo. It's pretty fucking impressive what he could fucking do.
And when you swap, it's instantaneous. It's not a 3-second delay. It's not 2-second delay. It's instant. It doesn't even have to be with the person. It could be with an item.
I mean,
not even an item.
Yeah, you can even startle someone the likes of fucking Jigen. I mean, if you could startle someone that caliber, then your dojutsu is fucking. It's a goated. I mean, for sure. So probably the Rene Sharingan. So now aesthetically, what do you guys think is the coolest? John Sebastian, just like not power wise, but the coolest one.
I think the talk no jutsu is the greatest one.
That's a dojutsu for sure. Oh, you could say
no, but the aesthetic looking.
Yeah, the coolest, most swag. Yeah,
I'd probably go. This is a tough one for me because you can go with any answer and it still be like,
there's a lot of cool.
Oh, okay, sick.
For sure.
I'll probably go with the Rasen Shuriken.
Rasen Shuriken. Oh no, I mean dojutsu means like eye, like Sharingan.
Oh,
like
I thought you were
ocular.
talking about
Like ocular is like Sharingan, Renegon, Rene Sharingan, Tensagon, Byakugan.
I thought you were talking about like overall. I'll probably go with the. What was the one that Itachi used on what's it called?
The Sharingan, the Mangekyo Sharingan.
The Mangekyo, not the Mangekyo. It's the highest one where you lose your eye if you use it only once.
Oh, you mean the Sharingan's ability? Oh, the Izanami? Yeah.
I like that. I don't know if it's aesthetic. I don't want to call it aesthetic, but I'm going to say it anyway, just because when he thought he kept getting what's his name? The one that turned into Orochimaru. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name.
Kabuto?
Kabuto, yes. Yeah. When Kabuto got affected by it, I thought the visual and that was pretty cool.
There's one that I missed. That it might be stronger than Sasuke's. Is Ishiki's fucking Ishiki's dojutsu. It's fucking Sukana Hikona. That's his.
I do remember that one. That one was pretty fucking dope. I actually do like that one.
I mean, he was able to blitz Sasuke with it, and Sasuke couldn't even react. The only person that reacted successfully was Baryon Naruto. So that puts. But then again, you kind of have to take into question: does it matter who the user is? Like, if he put that Saka, whatever it's called, into like say Boruto or Kawaki, could they use it on the same level? There's also that question. So you gotta kind of extrapolate all users that have used that ability and then determine overall on average what's the most powerful. I still go with the Rene Sharingan. I'll still lean towards that. Ishiki's Ishiki, man. I mean, that motherfucker he's in another level. But as far as the coolest, Sebastian, you want to give what do you think is the coolest?
I'm gonna put two because personally, the second one is just based off how like if you came up face to face with it, it would probably scare the shit out of you. Rasen Sharingan's first, and then second is when Sasuke was fighting that one chick that can control blood, and she could just make people blow up.
What's her name?
I forgot her fucking name, but she kind of looked like a fucking a frog with just blood red eyes. And if I saw that like straight out and she was coming at me, I'd be like, "Fuck that!"
I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, in Boruto, right?
Yeah,
or was
it's not quick, but like
I remember what you're talking about. It was like that one. She had like a Kekkei Genkai, right? It was like some type of Kekkei Genkai. Yeah, I remember.
And it's based off like water too. It's like it had, like I was saying, like based off Hadan's, but like significantly better because it's just eye power.
I remember that one.
In general, you can use that.
That one most people don't even remember. I remember that. So for me, aesthetically, I mean, the most swag has to be the Mangekyo Sharingan. I mean, Itachi had like his swag, fucking Obito, Sasuke swag.
The fact that he can.
Some of the most cold characters in Naruto are Uchiha. Even Kakashi, and he's not even an Uchiha member. So they have some of the most swag in the entire like show. I mean, my fucking profile picture is Itachi's fucking eye. So probably the.
In addition, the Mangekyo Sharingan had, for some reason, no drawbacks when you continuously used it, especially when you
Obito specifically. Itachi did, but
he only had
why.
one.
Yeah. I like the Izanami a lot. I really like that. I know it's not really, but it's cool. It's cool knowing that if you use, well, not cool. It's actually kind of sad, but anyway, it's cool. Like if you use it once, you lose your eye, and it's like fuck.
Yeah. All right. You said you had one.
But I like that.
Another question.
Hold on, I just thought about something. So you know how like Obito used the Izanagi, or was it the Izanami? I forget which one.
Yeah.
But he used it in a fight with Conan. But like, is it ever explained how he got it, or like where he got it
from? Actually, yeah. So basically, as far as how he learned it, it was most likely from Madara because he had like all the Uchiha secrets. But another more obscure fact is that during the death of the Uchiha clan, the massacre, he took some eyes for himself. So it wasn't just Danzo that took some. Obito, when he was slaughtering the Uchiha, he also took some eyeballs. So that's why he even went to using the Izanagi, because he knew he had another eye. He's like, I'll spare this eye. I'll just implant another one. So he probably learned it, the actual forbidden jutsu from Madara, though. Madara probably taught him all the Uchiha secrets and shit. So yeah, that's probably where he learned it. And he got the eyes from the Uchiha clan massacre. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot he's at the Uchiha massacre.
Yeah, so he has a bunch of eyeballs.
Yeah. Okay, so
just like
my next question. Yep. My next question is, Adult Naruto and Sasuke versus Saitama before the power up.
Oh shit! All right, John. Sebastian, you read One Punch Man?
Yes, and I caught up to the whole thing.
Oh shit! So you probably have the best answer.
So what do you mean by like before the power up? Do you mean before he fought Universal like Master Garo, or do you mean?
Yeah, before all the Universal stuff.
Yeah, before the most. Yeah, it basically means before the most recent power up. Like, do you think Saitama could be adult Sasuke and Naruto?
Okay, so here's the thing. In terms of versatility, Saitama has jack shit compared to those two.
Yeah.
But in pure strength and durability, he outclasses them to a max degree. Dude. Even saying that, like, if you were to burn him, there's not been a single case for anything that's laser oriented or burning effect affects him really, like, whatsoever. And Saitama himself actually holds back a shit ton, but he does scale and does prove in the manga too that he does go up in power.
Do you think he's universal now, or are you under the notion?
I feel like he would clap him. He would try to like figure out what they're doing, be like, "Oh, these are cool effects," and then as Naruto and Sasuke get really serious, he'd be like, "Okay, trying to step up the game and see what they're." And if they really wanted, like, if they really thought Saitama was a threat to them, like, and they wanted to kill his ass, then Saitama, like you've seen throughout the series, he'd be like, "Okay, well, here's this giant fucking fist giant that's coming to whoop your ass," and then they wouldn't even know what hit him because, as is proven through Sasuke and Naruto, is that their visual prowess and their senses is only effective to a certain degree. If
that's
someone's
true.
faster than them,
yeah, that's true.
If someone's faster than them, which Saitama is blatantly, obviously, like fucking fast, then they won't be able to handle it. They simply would just get clapped.
Yeah, but do you think you think Saitama's universal now with the most recent power up, or do you think he's still not that powerful yet?
So in the manga, he was fighting Universal Gara, and like, spoilers to anybody ahead, like this is some real spoiler shit, but like apparently when he was fighting Universal Gara, he got the power of God. Universal Gara got the power of God, and when they're going face toe to toe, Saitama sneezed and he blew off the moon he was on and Jupiter. And then when they were going toe to toe in terms of punches, his punch was so strong that stars and galaxies on the other side, there was a big gaping fucking hole right there, missing.
Yeah, that's the famous panel in the manga. John, are you familiar with it or not really? One Punch Man.
I'm familiar with One Punch Man. I haven't really seen enough to make a comparison.
That's a major spoiler, and that's because he was pissed. He was actually Saitama was really mad that his buddy got slaughtered.
So I'll give my answer. So I'll give both for the sake of just doing it. So after the power up, where he destroys anywhere from multiple galaxies to from multiple stars to multiple galaxies, it depends on when you presuppose. Because I would level off Baryon mode Naruto, which is the strongest version we've ever seen, to as high as maybe galaxy level. It would be outlandish to say multi galaxy. It just isn't enough.
That's that. I get
Yeah,
that.
the power cliffing suggests that Kaguya is solar system. You could argue that. You could argue she's universal, but that's very outlandish, and I would say it's not the case. It's not narratively implied that they're at that level of power, because we'd have to see. I would argue you'd have to see a common trend of universal feats after that, which we'd never see. So I would say Kaguya was probably solar system level. That's highballing if you're assuming that the dimension she was about to engulf was solar system. So power cliffing going all the way to Ishiki with him being superior blatantly into a Baryon Naruto. I would say Baryon Naruto is at best galaxy. That's like a stretch. Now, current Saitama could be possibly multi-galaxy level. Possibly. That's if we presuppose those lights that went dim when he clashed with the most recent villain were galaxies. So if that's the case, he beats Sasuke and Naruto. He would blitz them, one serious punch below their ass, probably disintegrate them. So if you presuppose they're stars, it might be different. It might be a different discussion, because there are millions of stars in a solar system.
In addition to that, Saitama is based off pure strength, and it doesn't seem like he runs out of stamina, whereas Sasuke and Naruto are based off chakra, which is an internal source of power, and they can still run out, no matter what. Like, it was still fuck out.
Yeah, so pre-power up, the best you could presuppose, I would say, based off what I've seen from reliable sources, is probably like star level. I don't think solar system would be a stretch for before the most current events. So I would say Naruto and Sasuke, especially Baryon Naruto, would probably beat that Saitama. Most likely. Now the speed would be contentious. They're both sides are speed of light or above. But I would lean toward Naruto and Sasuke pre-power up. This empirically, there isn't enough for me to suggest that he's like solar system or beyond that. Now it's more contentious because he destroyed possibly multiple galaxies, which is fucking crazy. But yeah, so Naruto and Sasuke probably beat Saitama before this power up, based off what we did know. Obviously, based off what we do know now, Saitama might beat them. So yeah, that would be my answer to that.
All right, thank y'all boys for the answer.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good question.
I had another question.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So, I forgot it. I kind of forgot it. Damn. Had a brain fart.
Okay.
Brain fart.
Right.
I remember. Orochimaru versus Kisame.
Orochimaru versus Kisame. This is a good one. You guys want to answer that first, John and Sebastian?
Oh, darn.
Orochimaru versus Kisame.
I don't know.
It's a tough one. So we have to scale both and kind of compare their feats. So Orochimaru is implied heavily to be superior to Sasuke, and it's even implied that he was probably superior to heavy Sasuke once he absorbed Orochimaru. So Getsu implies it, Sasuke implies it. So highballing him, you could say he's above CS2 Sasuke. Now Kisame, you got to take into consideration his hacks where he can eat ninjutsu and eat your chakra with Samahata. And if he successfully executes the water dome, he could eat your chakra while you're in the water dome. So you're continuously being depleted from your chakra reserve, which eventually means you'll exhaust it and you'll die. Now you got to compare speed feats. Kisame just has better speed feats because he fights a perfect Jinchuriki and Killer Bee and fucking thrashes him. Destroys him, to be honest. And to be fair, he did use a water dome, but he was a blatant superior. It was blatantly clear who was superior in that exchange. So his speed feats just seem to be superior to that of Orochimaru's. So I would say Kisame's hacks, durability, chakra reserves would probably eventually overwhelm Orochimaru. The ambiguity is that, the ambiguity with Orochimaru is we really never see him full power go all out. You could argue against Hiruzen, but he was using the Edos more than anything. I would lean towards Kisame because of his hacks. So yeah, that's a tough one though. There's a lot of ambiguity with those two.
And we don't know if Kisame is mainly immune to like the poison that Orochimaru has, or like any curse marks. And maybe he could absorb it. Yeah, like you said, like with his abilities and all.
Yeah.
So he could just have a lot of debuffs for fucking uh, for a Rochamaro to not be able to do anything. And even if he were to snake out of there like the snake he is, and somehow avoid his like abilities, he would still have to like really run away from this guy because, like you said, he'll catch up. He will catch your ass.
Yeah. John, you have any answer to that? I think John's not here.
I think John died.
Shit.
John Otis.
But yeah, I would lean towards Kisame. Orochimaru is a tough one to assess power scaling wise because he has so many abilities. Probably some that are unknown to us to this day because his arsenal so vast. But speed wise,
but not enough to fight somebody who can go toe to toe with.
That would mean I would have to speculate. So speculating is kind of fallacious. So I'll stick to the empirically Kisame probably. Yeah. But yeah, those are pretty good questions. John, you're still here? No, John's not here. Huh?
Nothing yet. He's gone.
All right, you have any final words before we move on to the next caller?
Real quick, back to the Saitama versus Naruto and adult Sasuke.
Yeah.
It's like going back to like Saitama at his peak right now. Like, so obviously like Naruto and Sasuke, they have the better IQ and they have more to their arsenal.
Yeah.
But like, we know Saitama's brain. We obviously know that he's just like he's way more durable.
Yeah.
Has way more physical strength. But and he's faster. But if we let's just give Naruto and Sasuke the benefit of the doubt and just give them the speed. Do you think they could beat Saitama at his full power?
If they have equal speed, yeah, it'd be a possibility. If anything, Naruto and Sasuke would conclude that maybe let's say his durability is quite superior. Naruto and Sasuke would say, well, we're gonna have to BFR him because he's just too much of a problem and he probably won't be able to get out. So Sasuke, you have the speed, just BFR his ass into another dimension. That's probably what would take care of him. Or they would, or maybe a Genjutsu. Yeah, with equal speed.
Do you think they could?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Do you think like if they still can they as adults can they still seal people? Because I was gonna say like if they can still seal people, then maybe they can seal him.
I would say Naruto being an Uzumaki, it's contentious, but you can kind of assume that he's kind of looked into his Uzumaki heritage, which are famous for their Funjutsu. So you could imply that he probably does know some seal jutsu, and Sasuke as well. I think it is a possibility that they could seal him. Yeah, that's a possibility. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but then again, it's contentious how probable that is, though. The BFR
because we never seen something like really hold like Saitama back, even with seals, like something like in Naruto.
Oh
so
yeah,
if somebody had a ability and then he broke through it, then maybe.
Like a Reaper Death Seal type seal, you could see there's a power struggle. So if you're blatantly inferior to someone, you're not gonna have the adequate strength to rip their soul out. You saw it with Nagato and Naruto. There's like a power struggle. Hiruzen versus Orochimaru is a power struggle during the Reaper Death Seal. So I would argue, Saitama might just be too fucking strong to seal. If he's so fucking strong, then
even though you added the speed to him, and then you added the fact that now they can catch up to him, and Saitama would be like, "Oh, that's a little surprising." It's still the fact that he has also two other factors, which is his power and then his durability, and
that's a problem. Yeah,
we've never seen that guy sweat in his life.
And the most realistic outcome would be them just sending him to another dimension, so they don't have to deal with him. That's probably the most realistic.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the most
which would probably be the win.
Yeah, that's probably one of the only ways that could defeat someone with that much more AP and durability, because he's gonna be a problem. They probably can't even hurt him, to be honest. So. But yeah, that's a good question though. All right.
I just have one more thing to say real quick.
All right. Before we end it.
This one will be quick, but do you think so you know how in the Naruto last movie Kurama, like when Naruto let Kurama out and like he was fighting Ternari's, what was it, a stone golem or something? I forgot what it was, but
yeah,
he was so that's probably an Atsuki level threat. Would you say?
Yeah.
Like, do you think so?
Toneri, yeah, he's an Atsuki level threat, but that's there's a spectrum because there's Atsuki level threats. Doesn't mean that they're all equivalent. Ishiki is the top of the power hierarchy. He's the top dog, the most highest caliber threat of Otsutsuki, and then you have lower ranked someone like Kinshiki, who's more of like a henchman. But yeah, Tonari is definitely an Otsutsuki level threat for sure.
Do you think Kurama could take on a Suzuki level threats, like, or maybe not even, yeah, like a Suzuki level threats, or maybe even Madara? And I'm talking like Boruto Kurama and Naruto last one.
You mean like Kurama on his own without a host?
Yeah, without a host.
Well, he got slayed by Madara. Madara is vastly inferior to Natsutsuki, so I would say he'd get fucked up by Natsutsuki, most likely. When you become a Jinchuriki, you're if you compare a tailed beast to a perfect Jinchuriki, you could argue that the Jinchuriki's leagues above it, and I think it's stated as well that Jinchurikis are blatantly superior to the tailed beast by themselves. So Kurama would probably get fucked up.
Yeah, because like on Naruto when he has the seal, like have that seal is like using his chakra to like keep Kurama in hold.
Yeah, and there's some sort of, I don't know, whatever kind of argument you want to use, whether it's like a chemical one or physical one, mental one. For some reason, perfect Jinchurikis are just blatantly superior to tailed beasts by far. That just seems to be the case narratively, and I think it's stated as well that perfect Jinchurikis are just blatantly superior to the tailed beasts. So, but yeah, Kurama would probably lose to Inosuke, yeah, by himself.
Okay, thank you for having me on. Thank you for answering my questions. This was a good call. I hope I had good enough questions for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. It was good questions too.
Yeah.
Keeps us on our toes for sure.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
I'll catch y'all boys later. Y'all have a good day.
For sure. Thanks for calling in.
You too, bro.
Thank you.
For sure. Peace out. All right. Let's see if there's any questions here. In the chat.
Come back at us again.
Let's see in the chat.
Oh, thanks for the $2, Sean. Thanks for the $2, Sean. Just saw that right now. Thanks, man. Goku versus Starving Galactus. All right, let me make this blatantly clear. Galactus is a cosmic being of biblical proportions. If he's fucking starving, he eats planets like they're lunch. So planet level threats are mere meals to him. Now the problem is he multiversal? I don't know. It depends on again. This is the problem with comic book characters. They're composite characters. There are endless versions for some, especially like a Batman or a Superman, where there's like decades of literature on. Galactus is one of those guys.
And Spider-Man too.
Spider-Man. There's like cosmic versions of Spider-Man that are like universal, and there's like the regular Peter Parker who's basically building level or whatever you want to call it. But
yeah.
If you're taking mainstream Galactus, he's probably universal, I guess you could assume. It's kind of hard to quantify. You'd have to, but Goku versus mainstream Galactus would be interesting. Goku currently is he's above universal, for sure. He's above universal. I mean, by a significant amount. Now, if I'm going off the top of my head and like kind of deducing who would win, I would lean towards Goku, because Goku was borderline like infinite. He shakes microcosms that are infinite, which is I don't know if mainstream Galactus has done something like that. Again, I'm not like an expert in Marvel comics, so at the top of my head, I might lean towards Goku. So.
But I can tell you, I do know a little bit. I know that Galactus has fought beings that are similar strength or even lesser, and like for someone like Goku who gets consistent power ups, I think, especially because Galactus is a fucking giant target.
He's a force of nature.
I think Goku would just have like a sizable advantage compared. Like even saying that. I think Galactus would struggle, and he might lose in the end. I mean, he may be someone who eats fucking planets, like a God Destroyer. Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. But God Destroyers have Hakai, which makes it so they can instantly fucking do that. They don't need to absorb it for power.
Right,
Galactus needs to eat planets to live.
Yeah, that's a good point. He needs to constantly fuel himself. Rochamaro, thanks for coming in. We're answering questions. Appreciate it. But yeah, that's a good point. Galactus does have to eat to survive. Like, he will starve. That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. So if we're talking about starving Galactus, you can kind of presuppose that he's weak as fuck. If he's starving, his cosmic energy would be lower. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, exactly. So even if you say, oh, he's starving, so he's more desperate. It's like, that means he's desperate to get like the energy he needs to replenish.
Exactly.
So if you were to say, oh, maybe full maybe
power Galactus, like that'd be different. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so maybe you're right. Maybe Goku would win because starving Galactus means he's like almost depleted of energy. So he's like up on his deathbed. He's like desperately trying to eat. So that's true. Yeah, so because of that, I probably will lean towards Goku. Mainstream, at least. If we're talking about like multiversal Galactus, that's something else. But if we're talking mainstream Galactus, yeah. What do you think, John?
Yeah, and plus, like,
Probably go main. Probably
You-
go mainstream too.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's an interesting question though. That is an interesting question. What the fuck are you debating? We're not really debating, but yeah, we're kind of like just giving thoughts and shit.
I do like Galactus a lot, though. I hope we get to see him in future Marvel movies.
Yeah.
well,
for
you see,
sure.
Galactus is one of those characters that just comes in because he is like one of those cosmic
Yeah,
beings.
he's cosmic.
But in the end, like heroes always clap him, or villains always fucking negate him. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Someone asked, but
So-
can you really quantify how much weaker he is based on quantity of planets consumed? You probably couldn't do it in like a linear fashion, but you can assume if he's starving, that he'd be significantly weaker than if he was at full power. I think that's a fair deduction, because
No, that's a fair
starving-
point. That's
yeah,
a fair point.
you
yeah.
might not be able to put a numerical value on it as far as how much weaker he is, but you could assume he's vastly weaker. That's like saying, who would do better in a boxing ring? Floyd Mayweather with a day hydration and a good night's sleep, or Floyd Mayweather if he has the flu? Obviously, the one that's well rested and fucking would do much, much better. So yeah, that's the way you can look at it. It's more of a
So
it's
you
more of
have
a
to see-
qualitative. It's a qualitative assessment, not rather a quantitative. So it's not numerical, but it's more descriptive, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So someone call in again. I think he was in early, but let him in again. Why not? By the way, folks, you guys that are in, hit the like button. Gets us up in the algorithm. More people get eyeballs in the show. We'll have more people calling in. Thanks for everyone who's called in. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. By the way, if you want to jump the line or just have me answer immediately, super chat, and I'll do that right away. So, all right. So let's let this guy in again. See what he has to ask.
Let him in. Let him in.
What's going on?
Come on in.
By the way, folks, you can still ask questions in the chat, by the way. We'll still answer them. So
Yeah.
I'll try to look more. I just haven't been looking right now. So
Hello?
hello.
What's going on?
Going once, going twice, going 3 times.
Hello. Oh, I guess we probably can't. He's probably
Going
talking. We can't hear him.
once, Going twice, going 3 times.
That's my guess.
All right.
Kevin, if you want to ask the question,
if you want to call in, raise your hand
chat.
again. Yeah. Raise your hand again if you want to call in. All right, folks.
This is
you
our
guys-
first time doing a live call-in show, so we're getting
All right, he raised his hand
used
again.
to everything around here.
All right, we're gonna let him in again, so we can speak now.
We're having some technical issues.
Yeah.
Yo.
We can a little bit.
Yeah, my bad. I don't know why it wasn't working earlier.
Oh yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, cool. Well, I just wanted to point out about the whole like Madara and Yellow Mask Obito controlling like Kurama. I think that was pretty impressive in itself, just because of how much chakra they would have had to imbue into Kurama just to like put him under Genjutsu. You know,
That is
I think
pretty
it's-
impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah.
They made it
So
look pretty easy though.
yeah, no, I mean it looks super easy, and Kurama has
Yeah.
a fuck ton of chakra.
Yeah, and
you know?
those are like upper tier characters too. Yeah, that was impressive. Obito and Madara. So
So I wanted to ask, what do you guys think about Tobirama versus base Hashirama?
Tobirama versus base Hashirama. That's a good question.
Hmm.
Tobirama at his best. I know what he did against Jubito, but I think you got to take it with a grain of salt. You got to take the context into consideration. Obito's conviction and his resolve and all that was slowly decreasing because of Naruto throughout the war arc until he got Talk no Jutsu by Naruto. So you could assume
Of course.
Jubito wasn't at an optimal level. And I think at an optimal level, he's superior to everybody, at least at that point in time. At Tobirama against base Hashirama.
I think Hashirama still slaps. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think base Hashirama, despite there being lack of feats, is still superior to his brother. Enough for even Madara to respect him. Because of the ambiguity and lack of empirical evidence, you can only kind of make a rational argument based off the narrative. So Hashirama was always a superior. Tobirama blatantly admits that. Is that concrete enough to blatantly prove base Hashirama beats Tobirama? No. But it implies it. It implies that it is a possibility. And that's kind of the best rational argument you can come up with. Tobirama he steps down to Hashirama when he gets serious. You see on multiple occasions when I think Tobirama was about to kill Madara, Hashirama was like, "You better fucking back off," and that was base Hashirama. Tobirama was like, "Oh shit, I'm not gonna fuck with that." And then when they become Edos, and he tries to scare Sasuke with flexing his chakra, he again kind of kneels to Hashirama, and Hashirama flexes his own. And that wasn't base either. Again, that doesn't necessarily 100% prove it, but that implies that even base Hashirama gets Tobirama's respect. So I would lean towards base Hashirama. And another interesting thing is speed, because he's stated by Madara to be faster than himself and Hashirama, yet they're superior. So the only rational argument you can make is that the speed isn't fast enough to the point where he could blitz them. It's superior, but it's not to the point where he blitzes them and where the reaction times aren't sufficient to counter Tobirama.
Yeah, it's hard to quantify how much faster exactly.
And honestly, you could argue that's an inconsistency, because if someone's faster, then they'll just beat you to the punch. But yet, Hashirama and Madara are superior. That's blatantly implied by the narrative. So, yeah, base Hashirama, I think, is narratively implied, and there's a couple of rational arguments you could use from narrative events that base Hashirama is probably winning that one. So, you guys want to talk about
I feel that.
John and Sebastian?
Go ahead,
Like
Sebastian.
Hashirama, it's just like Hashirama also have to take in the fact that he does have a healing factor, which is better than any healing jutsu.
Without healing signs, too. I mean, without hand signs, yeah.
Yeah, regeneration, yeah.
It's extremely efficient. But yeah.
Like when you take down everything, like we go basis of strength, speed, durability, and power, you always have to factor those in, which overpowers the other and which can use them to their versatility. And Hashirama, he just had way too much. He had way too much.
Yeah, he was so
Even
OP,
in
bro.
base.
Everyone had his
He
fucking
was
spells,
pretty much
dude.
he was pretty much the most OP person of his time. Even Madara was like,
Madara,
I can't beat this guy.
Even after he died, the people, when he came back, people were like, "Holy fuck, they brought this guy back!" And Madara was like so happy to see him. He was the only guy he saw as a challenge that even took his cells to make like a part of him. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I would like to address, like, because of this whole speed feat thing, people like to use ratty arguments and suggest Tobirama beats people just because he's faster. That's not the case, because there's like blatant statements that imply superiority, where when it's the case that someone's faster than the other, yet the other's still superior. So it's a little ratty when they're like, "Oh, he's faster, he wins." Like, no, it's not necessarily the case. You got to quantify the speed.
You have to take into account for durability and other factors.
Yeah, power scaling is a multivariate equation. It's not just speed or AP.
It's like, imagine you're a mouse that can reach the speed of light, and then you're trying to fight a fucking
like a fucking gorilla or some shit.
like Diamond, like trying to fight Diamond, like something like that. It's obviously you're not gonna do enough damage, but you'll be quick. You'll be quick, but that's not enough. It's just not.
Taking into consideration, like, two boxers, one has superior or superior combat speed, but the other's more experienced, stronger, and is just overall a better boxer despite the speed. The boxer that's overall better is still going to beat the faster boxer, even though, because the speed isn't fast enough to where the boxer just can't react. That's the point you have to get to where you could say someone blitzes somebody else. So you got to take that in consideration too. But
yeah, it totally makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to quantify how much faster he even is to begin with, and he had nothing but respect for his brother to begin with. So I think it's always narratively implied that Tobirama just bow down to Hashirama, essentially, you know?
Yeah, it's always been the case. And, like, the same thing with Minato. Everyone's like, Minato solos everyone. He's just faster. I'm like, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Yeah, he's a little overrated with that sometimes, but respect on his name nonetheless.
Yeah, he's still a legend, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you have another question? Or...
Yeah, all right, so this one might be a little bit more contentious. What do you guys think about Danzo versus Hidan?
Danzo versus Hidan?
Danzo versus Hidan.
That's a good one. We have to kind
of Danzo wins because of his eyes. Because of all the eyes he has, I think Danzo wins.
You got to kind of assess Danzo. There's not many feats on him. The argument you could use that's kind of implied narratively is that Hiruzen and Danzo were somewhat relative because they were both candidates for the third Hokage. Obviously, Hiruzen got the spot because of Tobirama. From that, you could argue, well, that means that they were at least relatives to some extent, which kind of would speak testaments to what Danzo's capable of as an old man compared to Hiruzen as an old man. Obviously, he still kneels to him because he's superior to Danzo, but from that you can manipulate. Well, okay, he's around that level. It's ambiguous as far as to what degree, But we
Yeah.
can safely say, is Hidan close to Hiruzen? Fuck no, he's not even close. Like the motherfucker is
Huh?
vastly inferior.
Yeah,
Hiruzen, yeah,
exactly.
Hiruzen as an old man was competing with Edo's plus Orochimaru. As an old fucking man, Hidan can barely compete with Kakashi in base. So I would say that Danzo probably wins, especially with his hacks. If he gets cut and he dies, I'm gonna use Izanagi again and again and again until I cut your head off and you're gone. So that's probably what would happen against Hidan.
Yeah, that is true. He doesn't have Kakuzu to put his head back on for him, so it's
Yeah,
like, what do you do at that point? You know?
and he has the perfect counter, which is the Izanagi with the Sharingans. Even if he does cut Danzo and kills him, he'll just restart many times. And if Danzo's that much superior, he's gonna get him. Like he has several tries, not just one try. Thanks to the Izanagi, he's gonna cut his head off eventually, take him out. So yeah, probably.
Yeah, fair enough, man.
Yeah, probably Danzo. Yeah, Danzo's a tough one because there's no feats. You can only really use like a rational argument and compare him to Hiruzen. So you could use a 5
Yeah, but we also
fight.
Danzo is fodder compared to Hiruzen, though. To be honest.
Yeah, I still think he'd get his ass whooped. Yeah, I didn't think he's close
Okay.
enough, but yeah. Yeah, that was a good question though.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the response. Appreciate that.
Sure.
What about the third Raikage versus Sage Kabuto?
The third Raikage versus Sage Kabuto. The third Raikage, now we can use scaling here too. The third Raikage stalemated the Eight Tails, and they stalemated each other. They're famous for stalemating and the Eight Tails being the only. Yeah, they had multiple encounters, and he's the only one that stalemated him. But then Killer Bee becomes a perfect Jinchuriki, and it's stated perfect Jinchurikis are superior to the Tail Beasts themselves. Sage Kabuto is fucking competing against EMS Sasuke and Edo Itachi with no illness and no stamina deficiency. Now you gotta quantify where they're at. Sage Kabuto, I would say safely that he fought people that were stronger than the Eight Tails. Just put Sasuke and Itachi against the Eight Tails, they would fucking slay that bitch easily.
Especially with Genjutsu, you know.
Especially with Genjutsu, I think they have the AP to take him down. So more than likely, Sage Kabuto probably beats the third Raikage. That feat kind of puts him at a lower level because these other guys are like these Akatsuki alone are Bijou level. They have to you got to kind of be above Bijou level to slay the Bijou. So yeah, I would say Sage Kabuto. I think he's above all Akatsuki members probably, besides arguably Obito, White Mask, and Itachi and Nagato. So yeah, I would say Sage Kabuto probably takes it. What do you guys think, Sebastian and John? Sage Kabuto, the one that fought like Sasuke and Itachi, versus the Eight Tails itself, like the actual tailed beast.
Oh shit!
Good way to scale it.
Yeah,
I'll probably go with Sage Kabuto as well,
Yeah.
just because he learned so much through that time, and I feel like he became smarter as a fighter till he faced Itachi, and that's where he got outclassed.
Yeah, and you could also
But other than that,
you could also argue his hacks would be a problem for the Eight Tails. He can liquefy like Soigetsu. He can liquefy like Soigetsu. He can control the environment, possibly incapacitate the Eight Tails. There's a lot of hacks that he has.
So I mean, would you
definitely learned a lot of banned jutsus for sure.
Yeah.
Like he definitely learned a lot of banned ones that Orochimaru had.
He can fight blind, all that shit. He can do a bunch of shit, man. It's a problem. And
do you think that implies that the third could perhaps tank a tail beast bomb from the Eight Tails as well? Like, do you think that's a fair implication?
I think that is a fair implication because if he had several encounters, the possibility that the Eight Tails uses at least one tailed beast bomb is highly likely. If you're encountering a tailed beast that many times, he's gonna use a tailed beast bomb eventually.
And that's some pretty good durability. Yeah, I would say.
Durability. Either that or he's just too fast and he outspeeds the tailed beast bomb. But that's another. But I think
True.
Yeah, so he's on the level of a tailed beast. Tailed beasts are blatantly inferior to perfect Jinchurikis, and Sasuke and Naruto were like relative throughout the war arc. So yeah, that's the scaling you could use. In Sage mode, Naruto himself was reacting to fucking the Raikage, and that was a weakened clone where Naruto was losing chakra and still reacting to the third Raikage. So yeah, I would say probably Sage mode Kabuto for sure.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's Sage Kabuto's an interesting one to scale. Yeah, and the third Raikage. So.
Yeah, they're both pretty interesting, I think, for sure. Great characters.
Yeah.
Especially if he had Edo Tensei.
Oh yeah, with Edo he fucking destroyed the Tails. He would just summon fucking Madara and fucking slam. Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, he would summon these Uchiha to fucking bitch him. Yeah, that wouldn't be a competition.
And also, when you guys are talking about Orochimaru with Kisame, if he had summons as well, like
Oh
in
yeah,
prep or something.
oh yeah, we're taking into consideration Edo's. Yeah, he's gonna beat Kisame. If he summons those 4 Hokage, he's fucked. He's getting fucking wrecked.
Oh, especially that, yeah.
He's gonna get fucking wrecked by all of them. Probably one of them alone could probably beat him. Any one of them by themselves, arguably. So, yeah. But yeah, those were good questions for sure.
No, yeah.
You have any last statements?
Yeah. So just one more.
Yeah, go
What do you guys think about Super Saiyan 2 Kid Gohan versus Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta? Beginning of Buu arc.
That's a good one. What do you think, John? Sebastian?
Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta claps that. He
Think so?
destroys
Are you-
that. Yes.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I
The
would
que-
stand
the-
on.
the
Is
question-
this, is it?
Yeah, the beginning of Buu arc, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta versus the Gohan that defeated Cell, Super Saiyan 2.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
Yeah,
I was thinking- I was thinking of-
yeah.
I was thinking of Majin Vegeta.
Oh, not Majin. No,
Nah,
no,
nah,
no,
nah,
no.
He's a stud. Yeah, that's a stud, man.
Because
Yeah,
if
that
it was
guy's a
Majin
fucking
Vegeta, if
beast.
it was Majin Vegeta, then
He'd
yeah.
probably beat
Sorry,
Gohan.
Gohan's getting killed.
Yeah, that one, yeah, probably because he was competing with Goku. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
Goku was holding back. He was
And,
just
yeah,
impressive.
Yeah, he was impressed. I would say, again, I think
That's a tough one.
you have to kind of presuppose because here's what we do know: Gohan, Super Saiyan 2, was stronger than everyone else there. Besides maybe arguably Goku, you could argue if he was holding back or some shit against Cell for Gohan's sake. But you got to kind of ask,
But
how much has Vegeta improved since that? Is he at a level where his
He's a-
Super Saiyan 2 is superior to Gohan's, or is he not at that level quite yet? That's what you have to kind of quantify and think logically. Like, well, it's kind of hard to deduce, but you could argue maybe because Saiyans, their very physiology allows them to continuously, gradually get stronger and stronger. That Vegeta's gotten strong enough to where his Super Saiyan 2 is not superior to that specific Super Saiyan 2 that fought Cell. You could argue that, or you could argue that the gap is so wide that he still hasn't caught up to that point, because he was way stronger than fucking everyone. He was fucking up the Cell Juniors, he fucking fucked up Cell. Like, he was way superior to Vegeta and anyone. So it really depends on your presupposition. If I were to like kind of look at the exact minuscule details, I probably could figure it out. But yeah, it depends what you presuppose. I would lean towards. It's tough. I would kind of lean towards Gohan maybe because he was so blatantly superior to everyone else. But it really
that's
depends.
a tough one.
Yeah, including Gohan. And including Goku at that time. And
Yeah.
I think Goku was superior to Vegeta at that time. And
Yeah,
it's
he
like,
was definitely. Yeah.
so it's like, and Gohan just, his potential / rage amp, I guess you can say, was just, it's hard to quantify how much stronger he got during that time, but it was an insane amp,
Yeah, it was insane. Vegeta was getting fucking thrashed by juniors, and fucking Gohan was taking out perfect Cell. So it's like, it's quite the difference. The potential.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I'll
variables.
probably go with Gohan on that. To be honest.
What do you think,
I would have
Sebastian?
picked him.
Yeah, I
but
would-
when the minute you said that, I was like, nah, it's Gohan. It's Gohan.
Yeah, Gohan's
because even
potential.
Vegeta was
Yeah.
like,
His potential,
even
bro.
Vegeta said
Yeah,
to
so-
himself, he's like, is he stronger than me? He got into a Super Saiyan 2 form at a younger age. So when Saiyans tend to transform at a younger age, that means they're going to be able to better implement like ideas. And Gohan, he literally fucking screamed by just learning what Boo did to get out of the sticky situation when he was trapped.
Yeah.
You know,
And you could also argue that because you have greater potential, your rate of increase as far as power is greater. You could also argue that. So you could argue Gohan having more potential, his rate of growth and improvement is just greater than that of Goku's and Vegeta's, because he's just. But then that would kind of fall apart because it becomes a fucking fodder compared to them later on for some reason after that part. But that's an inconsistency to me logically. Like, if he has so much potential, why was he so much weaker until now that he has Beast Gohan? Like, it took him that long to surpass them.
held him back.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Beast Gohan isn't even canon, bro. So it's
Yeah.
like,
thankfully,
Yeah.
because that's bullshit. But Black
Yeah, I
Frieza,
feel it, bro.
Black Frieza's crazy.
Same with Piccolo, dude. He got the same potential as Gohan.
That's fucking crazy.
Hey,
Piccolo hasn't done
That
anything.
isn't kind of either. Could you imagine the orange Piccolo? Remember when they were talking about, being muscular makes you actually slower? What the
Yeah,
fuck is
exactly.
this
Oh,
orange
yeah.
Piccolo doing?
Trunks.
Oh, yeah.
Trunks against fucking version 2 Cell. His fucking ass was too slow.
Yeah, that version of Trunks was dope, though, bro.
Oh yeah, aesthetically it was fucking, it was sick.
I thought that shit was sick.
Yeah, and then Vegeta's like, "You're too slow, dude. Get the fuck out of here. I'll take care of it." I was like, "Damn," but yeah, so probably Gohan. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, okay, right on.
Yeah.
And I think we all can agree Majin would just slap.
Oh yeah,
too.
Majin. I think
Oh, yeah.
he gets some sort of mental amp. Yeah, and then the Majin, yeah, for sure, he's a fucking monster. So.
Okay, and so on a similar comparison, what do you guys think about Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku?
You mean as like as far as power?
Yeah.
You mean as far as
Aesthetically, Goku all day.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's for sure. Aesthetically, yeah, Goku looks way cooler. As far as power, I think Goku fought a stronger version of Boo. I know that's contentious. Some people think certain versions are stronger than others, but I think it goes in a linear fashion.
Well, I guess more so the one that fought Fat Boo.
Oh, okay. That's a different story. It might be Gotenks in that. I think in that case, Gotenks fought, I believe, a stronger version. What do you think, Sebastian? John?
You guys
I
asked
would
him, though,
I would
but
say Gotenks in general
You think Gotenks
because
is
I felt
superior?
like aesthetically, nah, but like
Oh
in
yeah,
terms of
aesthetically
power,
it's Goku. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would probably lean towards Gotenks. Yeah. That against that specific version of Goku in Super Saiyan 3, yeah. I think Gotenks has the more impressive feat, despite getting his ass whooped. But I mean, I think he's done a little more empirically.
yeah.
I'll probably go Gotenks on that as well.
he's got some interesting abilities as well. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully they explore that more with Super. Oh, $5 from
Hopefully.
Orochimaru. Appreciate it. I off topic, but I saw that Orochimaru versus Data reaction you made. That was literally what I was asking about last live stream. So thanks. Yeah, for sure, Orochimaru. That was a 6 video. It was interesting. What do you guys think about that, John and Sebastian? Orochimaru
What is
Orochimaru versus Sasori and Datara, both.
Oh, we just saw this video, yeah.
Yeah. Who do you think wins that? So it's him versus those two, both of them at the same time.
Orochimaru. I got Orochimaru winning that, to be honest.
I think it's.
Are you sure?
I'd probably go with that.
I try to like break down their comparisons. I forgot what I said in the video, but Orochimaru fights Four-Tail Cloak Naruto. Sick. He's like fucking on his deathbed, and he fucking still competes with him. Datara fights CS2 Sasuke to a damn near stalemate, but Orochimaru is implied to be stronger than CS2 Sasuke. So from there you can extrapolate where that most likely means Orochimaru is superior to Datara, so that gets that out of the way. And then you could also say, well, what about Sasori? Sasori failed to defeat Sakura and Chio. I know you could say he held back, but Sakura was still able to react to him. So that means she had the adequate reaction time. And who would win between Sakura and Orochimaru? I think it's pretty fucking blatantly clear who'd win that. So now you got to say who would win, him or those together. I would argue put a giant against 100 small people, it still wouldn't change the outcome, arguably. So I would say Orochimaru probably wins. He has the hacks. I would say he has the speed advantage. I would say he has many advantages, and even regeneration. And if you really want to be pedantic, he has Edos as well. So probably Orochimaru. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. You know what? You put it that way. I mean, like, and including that, they still are limited to what they can do. Like, Data needs clay, and Sasori is a puppeteer, which all puppeteers have that innate. I use puppets as my advantage, so I have to use that. And even himself as a puppet, that still means he can still get fucked over.
I mean, he got his ass beat by Sakura when he was in his puppet form.
I mean,
so Sakura was able to compete with him. So
for a girl who doesn't have a lot of battle like knowledge and battle like badges in general, like that's kind of low-key sad.
Together, I don't think so. And you can't say Data would use C0 because he would kill Sasori along in the process. So I doubt he'd use that. Unless he gets super desperate, and I still think Orochimaru would survive. He would like dig his ass underground or some shit, like a snake form.
And do you think, like, let's say, I think Orochimaru would probably take out Data as his most most complicated enemy to fight, and then Sasori he would probably just use a summon, really.
I mean, if you really want to be like technical, you could just summon Hashirama, and fucking fold them with Hashirama Edo, but. Yeah, I mean, he would most likely.
Oh, I was talking like something like that, like a giant snake, and just squish his ass.
Hydra snakes. Yeah, that's as strong as Jutsu too. So he would fucking.
Yeah, they wouldn't stand a chance against that.
he felt confident enough to try to blitz Itachi with it. So I think he'd be more than confident enough to blitz them with that shit. So I would say yeah.
But if Data is being a pain in the ass in the air and Sasori's trying to do his thing, like, I don't know, even then, I say it Rochamaro for sure.
Yeah, I think he's too tough. He's too intelligent. His speed is probably superior to both. He's just an upper echelon Shinobi compared to them. They're lower on the totem pole, I would say, as far as like the power hierarchy. He was more up in the mid, like in the middle, possibly upper middle part of the Akatsuki. Those two are more so down in the bottom middle. They're not on the same caliber, I'd say. I think
if he's contentious with Kisame, you know,
Kisame would beat their ass too. Yeah, so yeah, probably.
I would just imply that for sure he's superior.
Yeah, so that was a good video though. Shout out for the donation over tomorrow. But yeah, so you have any final statements?
Yes. Just one last question. What do you guys? I know it's hard to like quantify, but what do you guys think about Hiruzen versus Prime Hiruzen versus Prime Itachi?
Prime Hiruzen versus Prime Itachi. That's a good question. So the problem with that is, I believe he was probably retconned later on. But if we're going pre-retcon, then obviously he'd probably beat Itachi because he was stated to be the strongest Hokage ever, which means he's stronger than Hashirama. But if it's post-retcon, the best rational argument I could deduce is how he interacted with Minato during the Nine Tails attack. Now it's contentious whether or not that was his prime or not. But I mean, he didn't have white hair back then. His hair was like black still. You could argue that was relatively close to his prime at least, maybe late 40s. So you could argue, well, he was already inferior to Minato because he was blatantly saying, "Where's Minato? Like, we need Minato," implying that he's inferior, that he needed Minato to take care of this problem, which means he was more confident in Minato being successful than himself. So from that's where you could kind of gauge him if you don't consider Hiruzen being the strongest Hokage. Now comparing Prime Itachi, the closest that we can get him to seeing that was when he was in Edo, and he was relative to EMS Sasuke. Now I kind of would say you gotta scale those two. It's tough. So Prime Hiruzen versus Prime Itachi. You can make an argument that Prime Itachi would be stronger than beginning of War Arc EMS Sasuke because he was nerfed slightly.
You could absolutely.
Yeah, so now you got to scale. Prime Hiruzen's below Minato. We know that if we don't consider him to be the strongest Hokage ever, and if we follow the retcon, I would lean towards Prime Itachi. I would lean towards him. I think that EMS Sasuke is relative to KCM Naruto. KCM Naruto at full power is superior to Minato. So I would probably say Itachi, since you could argue he's above EMS Sasuke in his prime. So he would probably be.
Wait, so you're saying Itachi scales to KCM1 Naruto because of that interaction they had?
Interaction plus the fact that he was nerfed, so you could consider him even stronger and faster than that.
True.
Yeah, so I would say Prime Itachi probably takes it, especially with the Genjutsu. He probably has superior speed. Probably catch Tsukuyomi. That's it. That's a GG for Prime Hiruzen.
Yeah, Tsukuyomi is a huge win con, man, for sure.
The only people that can probably get out of it would be a Jinchuriki. Even then, I remember Naruto got caught in a Genjutsu and he couldn't even get out. I remember that during a certain panel. You could argue that it was because Kurama wasn't friends with him yet. You could argue that's why he couldn't break out. But
during the beginning of Shippuden with the finger one,
finger. And that wasn't even Tsukuyomi. That was a finger jutsu. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I would argue. Yeah.
Tsukuyomi happens so freaking fast. It's unfathomable how fast it happens.
Like picoseconds, yeah. It's like a billionth of a second, which is like unimaginable. But
I actually think it's a trillionth, if I'm not mistaken. But it's just ridiculously small, yeah.
Yeah, and I doubt Hiruzen's at that speed. I mean, we're talking about 6-pass characters when we get to that speed. But then again, that's a different thing. That's more so reaction time. But yeah, I would lean towards Itachi, though. I would definitely lean towards Itachi.
Right on. Well, I appreciate you guys for the time again.
Sure, this was a good question.
As always, Jay, I appreciate the content, bud.
For sure, bro. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being a member, for sure.
Always, brother. Looking forward to the next video, huh?
For sure. We'll be out soon.
All right, guys. Take care.
Take care, brother.
You too.
All right. Okay, so again, thanks for the $5, Rochamaro. Let's see here. People have said. The Hydra form stomps. Yeah, we said that. I agree. That depends on if you think Prime Hiruzen is as strong as Hashirama. Yep. Even if Hiruzen's physically superior, Itachi has so much win con. Yep, exactly. All right, folks. Feel free to ask questions in the chat or join the Discord and call in. So feel free. All right, what do you think so far about all this, Sebastian and John?
I think it's pretty fucking great that these people ask all these questions and all. Not talking shit, even though I was kind of speculating that they would. And they're very, very supportive. All these people
There's no
deserve.
haters today. No one has the balls to come in here and talk shit.
Yeah, surprisingly, there's no haters. But
Listen,
I've been liking it a lot.
Please come in. Please, so I can flame your ass. If you're a hater, I will fuck you up on this fucking call. In this fucking
I think that's where they're not coming in. They don't want to get flamed.
They're going to get flamed. I know there's guys, even in this Discord, that talk shit. Come in here. If you dare.
I'm all for positivity. I'm all for it.
If you dare, get your ass in here.
But I love it.
I want blood and war.
I want violence.
Having a great time listening to these questions. It's awesome.
Yeah, they got definitely good questions.
Coming.
Too. It's a good question
Definitely
for sure.
Great questions.
Out of the topic questions too, it's like the one that's with Saitama. When that caught me off guard, I was like, "Whoa,
that was a really good question, actually.
Yeah.
That was an interesting question. By the way, folks, you can ask UFC, you can ask real life shit, Andrew Tate shit. You know what? Let's talk. We'll take a little turn here and talk about Andrew Tate. I know I talked about it. Keep asking questions in the chat, folks. Feel free. But what do you guys think about Tate being banned from social media?
I think it's unequivocally fucking bullshit. I'm just gonna be honest here. Like, for a guy who just wanted to talk about his own ideas, everything like everybody else does, and then for him to be shunned and shut down from multiple sites on end, only for him to have to like hide into Rumble, not hide, but like outsource over there.
Yeah, like no choice. Man. Yeah.
Like, are you you guys? If you guys don't like it, you don't have to watch him. That is literally the whole point he tells you. Like, it's all the haters out there, every time you post a video about him, you literally give him more followers. Yeah, every time.
You just give him more fucking clout. Like, dude, don't like him, don't fucking watch him, bro.
And he told you, like, if you actually watch any of his videos, he said before that if you really hate him, try to learn from him. Try to learn why all these people hate him. Try to like understand him a little better. You know,
he's like a fucking multimillionaire and he's successful, and they're like, he's a fucking loser. I'm like, is he? I don't know.
Do you think this guy would be a fucking poor bitch and still be an asshole and people listen to him?
Yeah, exactly. Like, here's the problem with people saying, well, it was a private company. It doesn't negate the fact that it's unethical. Yeah, they have the right to do it. Just because you have the right to do something doesn't mean it's fucking ethical or morally righteous. Fucking slavery was a right back then. Does that make it fucking right? Does that make it morally righteous? I don't fucking think so. So when you say it's a private company, it doesn't fucking matter. There's things that were allowed back then that you had the right to do, but weren't necessarily ethical. That's a stupid ass argument. That's an appeal to authority. Just because the government allows it, it's automatically deemed as righteous? I don't think so. You can legally cuss someone out. I can call someone a piece of fucking shit. I have the right to do so. Does that mean I'm a morally righteous person because it's legally allowed? No, it's not. So what they did was tyrannical. Thankfully, Rumble is more neutral. They're allowing him to say what he should be able to say. And yeah, it's bullshit, man. Honestly. Tate is teaching men to be better, for sure. Whether you want to believe that shit or not, he is.
I think Tate is reteaching masculinity. I feel like in America,
that's exactly what he's doing, and that's what we need, man. We
forgot about it, man.
Yeah. Let's see what this guy said. Well, he does have some hot takes. He technically hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't. Legally, he has not. His brain being smooth from getting hit in the head so much doesn't mean his freedom of speech. Yeah, exactly. If the guy's fucking stupid as fuck and he's talking shit, let him. It's his right to do so. It should be his right, I guess you should say. On a fucking platform with billions of users. Like, who gives a fuck, man? Don't listen if you don't like it. Like, shit. Is he perfect? No, but you shouldn't remove him just because you have a difference in ideology. That's tyrannical. That's tyrannical. Like, it's a private company. I don't fucking care. It still doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right. It's a bullshit argument. So, I think it's good that the red pill community is rising. It's becoming a big thing. More men are, like, becoming more RP aware, how to become better. So
if Andrew Tate ever like watches this, I just hope like you listen out here, like we totally commend and respect all your wishes and your own mindset, we have nothing like but love and respect for it.
Yeah,
And honest to God, like we just don't understand like why they would do that on two social media sites. That really, like, come on. If anything, they're making you profit because they had so many followers.
exactly. He's
I
making
know
you
Insta
fucking
does
money,
that.
man. You know what's funny is their AI is impervious to morality. So fake information, bullshit. If it gets more engagement, Instagram and Facebook will only pick and choose what they want to fucking censor. There's like bullshit on fucking Facebook that's not true, and it gets like hundreds of thousands of likes. Like, oh, let's leave it on so we get more engagement. That's what Tate's doing, whether you
And
agree with him or not. You shouldn't censor shit you don't agree with.
isn't it
So
so hypocritical that they'll still
it's
have
yeah,
sites that
exactly.
get like millions, like especially with women who show like ass and everything,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
are very,
You know
very
what's
like.
ruining women? Fucking bitches and OnlyFans. That's ruining femininity. That's ruining dating culture. It's ruining women's lives when their fucking ass is out to the world and they have no dignity, no respect. That's fucking ruining women. Why isn't that shit fucking banned on social media? Fucking bitches promoting
Yeah,
their
why
fucking
don't you send?
OnlyFans. What the fuck is that, man? But Tate gets fucking banned for helping guys out. Come on, it's bullshit. Definitely. All right, folks. Feel free to ask any questions in here. See if anyone's asked anything.
Hmm.
But yeah. By the way, folks, you can ask sports shit. You can ask real life shit, anime shit, whatever. Whatever you please. And thanks for all the super chats, folks. We appreciate that too. It's much appreciated. All right, let's see if there's any questions that come in. If not, we'll think of something to talk about. Let's see. But yeah, more people called in than I thought, kind of. It's pretty good.
That's
I
good.
know, right?
Yeah. All right. Someone asked Kisame versus Guy. That's a good question. So
But we've seen this fight happen.
we've seen this fight happen. 8 Gate Guy's fucking wrecks his shit. So let's not talk about 8 Gate's Guy because we know the answer to that.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Someone said if he had Samehada, would he have beaten Guy? Here's the thing. Guy doesn't use ninjutsu, so Samehada would really have nothing to eat.
I know.
Yeah, he wouldn't have shit to
I
eat.
love
So
that fucking point too. It's like what happens if he uses? It's like, bruh,
the
he's a
only thing,
taijutsu. He's
yeah,
literally the
the only
master
thing
of
you
his
do gotta
art.
take in consideration is that Kisame was already fatigued and shit at that point. He wasn't like full power. With
But I
Samehada,
mean,
Which is debatable,
Kisame
yeah.
has the hands too. Let's not discredit
oh
him.
yeah, he was
He's
able
got
to
the hands.
he was able to fight Killer B. So
Yeah.
8 Gates Guy, we know the answer. So let's not take 8 Gates Guy. 7 Gates Guy, how would he do against full power? Full power, fucking Kisame. So we got to take into account what has 7th Gates Guy done. I think he used 7 Gates Guy in a war arc when he was fighting the Bijou that fucking Obito was controlling with his Renegon. He was doing well. Him and Kakashi were doing well. He was using Hiradora. It's kind of contentious, really. You got to take into consideration, would those feats suffice in suggesting that he would beat Kisame one-on-one? Kisame slayed a perfect Jinchuriki. Guy
As you
was
stated before, Jinchuriki, perfect
yeah,
Jinchuriki are
stronger than
definitely stronger.
stronger than tailed beasts. And Guy had help from fucking Kakashi when battling those 6 Jinchuriki and Obito. It really depends on how you want to scale all those 6-tailed beasts, with Obito. I would kind of lean towards. It's tough. I would lean,
That's fucked.
I would lean towards Kisame. If I'm not mistaken, I think his Water Dome eats chakra. I think. I don't know if he only eats ninjutsu or if it eats chakra. If it eats chakra, then it's gonna eat guys. But if it doesn't, then Guy might still whip his ass in the Water Dome. But you could assume his speed will decrease because water just makes you slower because of buoyancy. Kisame gets faster in the water when it's shark form. So, I would lean towards
But you have,
Kisame. Yeah, I would lean towards
I
Kisame.
feel you on that one because I would lean towards Kisame too. Because even then, like, let's say he were to able to like catch up at all, he would still have trouble, not breathing.
Yeah, and yeah, that too. Exactly. He is human, so that would be a problem. Is him being able to breathe. So we'll lean towards Kisame. I think his hacks and all that would be a problem. All right, someone asked Sage Mode Minato versus Edo Itachi. It's a good one. Edo Itachi versus Sage Mode Minato. Now it's tough to quantify Minato in Sage Mode, right? Because we only see it once during the war arc. He kind of implies he's not good at it, yet he does it instantaneously just by fucking blinking. So then you gotta take that with a grain of salt. Like, is he really bad at it, or is he just being modest? I'm under the impression that he probably is bad at it, because if he was so good at it, he would have used it during the third grade ninja war. We never see him use that. So I would say he's bad at sage mode. He probably can't hold it very long. I mean, we never see him use it against real threats like the Raikage and Obito. He never used it, so we can only assume he's not that good at it. Now, Edo Itachi is relative to KCM Naruto. Now, again, it depends on what you presuppose. If you think KCM Naruto was already weakened and fatigued when he fought Itachi because he had clones everywhere and he was fucking barely using KCM, learning how to use it, wasn't friends with Kurama yet, then okay, maybe Minato is faster, and that would be a problem for Itachi. But also, Minato could seal him because he's an expert in Funjutsu thanks to hanging out with the Uzumakis. So he could seal him as well. We know that as a fact. So I'd probably lean towards Minato if his speed is vast enough to where he won't get caught in Genjutsu. If he's fast enough to get away from it, cool. If the speed gap isn't vast enough where the advantage is on Minato's side, he'll get caught in Genjutsu. Yeah, he'll get caught in Genjutsu, especially Tsukuyomi. That's a problem. But based off what I presuppose, I would lean towards, if we're talking about Sage Mode and Minato, I might lean towards, it's a tough one. I lean towards Minato, probably. I probably lean towards Minato. I think he has a speed advantage. So that's what I would say. What do you guys think? Sage Mode Minato or Itachi? Edo Itachi?
Yeah.
Probably Minato.
Wait, can Edo Itachi still has the regenerative ability because he's like revived and everything,
yeah,
right?
He's an Edo, yeah. So he doesn't feel pain. He can't die. You have to seal him. You can't kill him. And he doesn't have stamina issues, so he could spam fucking Susanoo and fucking Tsukuyomi and all that.
I'd still have to give it to Minato because he's just fast quickness, and even if he went to Sage Mode and everything like that,
would be even better. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's why I'd probably go with Minato on that. Yeah, just because of what Sebastian said, his reaction time would be much faster.
Yeah.
And he'll be able to steal him pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, probably.
And that seal is instant dub, and he's literally been known to be like the expert of it. He was able to seal a tail beast bomb and full thing,
exactly.
9 tails.
Yeah, exactly.
A 10 tails. Remember in the war, he did it 10 tails too.
Oh yeah.
That's how fucking fast he is, man. He's that fast. So that's fucking crazy. All right, so someone said Minato kills everyone immediately aside from Itachi. Not necessarily. Obito would give him a good one. Itachi would give him a good one. I'm assuming you don't mean like Madara and shit, because obviously you get fucking slayed by Madara. But yeah, you have a point. He does beat most people immediately though, but not like the upper tier people. But I see what you mean. Pain and Under aren't a threat because I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. I agree. Prime Chio versus Sick Itachi. Prime Chio versus Sick Itachi. So Prime Chio fought Hanzo. I don't know if you guys remember Hanzo, the salamander guy. Prime Chio was able to fight him several times and survive when the 3 Sannin were spared by Hanzo. So you gotta take that in consideration. Chio was able to go one-on-one with him many times, while the Sannin were spared out of mercy. To be fair, they were weaker because they were barely Jonin. They weren't like as powerful as they are now, but keep that in mind. All 3 of them were spared by Hanzo out of mercy, while Chio was able to compete with him. You could argue that was Prime Hanzo because he was younger. Now you gotta take into consideration Sick Itachi. So we gotta scale Sick Itachi. The problem is he always holds back. We never really see him go all out. Maybe against Nagato, you could argue. Against Sasuke, he held back the whole time. Against Kakashi, he could have killed Kakashi when he fought him in part 1. He did just enough damage to make it seem like he wanted to kill him. So you gotta take everything he's done with a grain of salt. Every fight he was in, he was holding back. Against Naruto, against Sasuke, against Kakashi. Him pretending that he was scared of Jiraiya. That's bullshit. He didn't want to fight Jiraiya because he's a fellow shinobi, and he doesn't want to kill a fellow shinobi. He would have beaten Jiraiya. I'm sorry. You can't
and everybody likes to point out the fact it's like,
he said that he would die. I'm like, dude, he fucking is undercover. Why would he want to fight a fellow Leaf shinobi? Why? And then someone would argue, well, he fought Kakashi. Well, Kakashi's much weaker than him. He could do a better job strategizing around that. Jiraiya's a threat, but he's not on Itachi's level. Itachi fucking folded Orochimaru at 14 years old while looking at, not even looking at him. Yeah,
Oh my god,
he stuck shit all over his
That-
body. He fucking fodderized him, sodomized him
true.
with fucking Tsukiyomi at 14. And you're telling me Jiraiya would beat him as an adult? No.
Yeah, no chance.
No, it's not happening. So you have to get that out of the way. I just think Itachi scales over Chiyo. I do. I think he'd probably beat Hanzo too. I mean, Hanzo, excuse me. I think he'd beat Hanzo also. So I would say Sick Itachi still probably would most likely win, especially with the Genjutsu. Now, even if it's fucking sick ass Itachi that was on his deathbed right before he died, he still reacted to the Hydra Snakes, which was Orochimaru's strongest weapon. So keep that in mind. So yeah, I'll say Sick Itachi. Yeah. Prime Chiyo is Hanzo level, right? I still give it to Itachi because he has the most moveset. Yeah, I agree. He has the Susanoo. Yeah, I agree. Chiyo fought
and his
Hanzo.
Susanoo was actually fucking broken as shit too.
Yeah.
Orochimaru even wanted it himself.
Yeah, even he was shocked when he had the fucking Totsuka blade in the Yatami. He was like, what the fuck? Prime Chiyo is Hanzo level, right? Yep. Okay, I just read that. Chiyo fought Hanzo, but it's never stated she actually won. Yeah, but it's stated that she was at a level of relativity to survive those encounters. You could at bare minimum imply they stalemated. So yeah. So there's a level of relativity. She has as much merit as the Sanin. Hanzo beat up and Itachi while sick, still above them. Stronger versions of that. Exactly. Itachi wins. Yep. How's that Sage Jiraiya versus Kisame for real? Who would have won that? Oh, okay. Okay, so he's asking what if Kisame fought Jiraiya? Kisame said I would lose and that only Itachi could handle him. That's tough because he does state that and he's not lying. He's not lying. That's the problem. He's not.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Kisame doesn't lie.
Yeah, Kisame is not a liar. He actually has some honor. Actually, he's actually an honorable villain somehow. But Sage Jiraiya, he actually had a very honorable death. Yeah, he died protecting Itachi's secrets and the Akatsuki secrets. He's like, fuck it, I'd rather die. It's like it's pretty honorable.
And give out these secrets. Yeah, you know, you're right. That is.
Yeah. But as far as Kisame versus Sage Jiraiya, what do you guys think? So if it's Sage Jiraiya, the one that fought the pains, versus Kisame, who do you think would win that?
I'd probably go with. Man, that's tough.
That's tough. Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Think about it even more. I'd probably.
I don't know. Those frogs give him some definite advantage in water situations, especially since it's innate.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is the best scaling I have. So think about it like this. Now, Killer Bee was slayed by Kisame. He fucking slayed the Eight Tails. I mean, not the Eight Tails. Killed the perfect Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails. Now he's blatantly superior to that. Then you gotta ask yourself: would he beat the Red Kage? You gotta ask yourself the difference in speed. I would say the Killer Bee and the Red Kage are relative. I still think the Red Kage is superior, but I do think they're relative. There's empirical evidence to suggest it. When they fought Minato, the Killer Bee was able to save the Red Kage for being cut down by Minato. That implies the level of relativity as far as speed, at least in combat speed. So I would say Kisame is probably superior to the Red Kage as well, because he blatantly slayed the Killer Bee. Blatantly slayed him. But now you gotta ask yourself, is he Sanin level? That's the question. So we gotta take a look at Jiraiya. We gotta look at Orochimaru. This is a tough part because you gotta quantify where he's at. One, he states he wouldn't be able to beat him. He states that blatantly. I mean, I think that's a legitimate statement. He thinks he can't beat him. So there's that. Two, Sanin level. The question is, I don't think the Red Kage is Sanin level. I think he's below that. I think there's more empirically to make a rational argument for Jiraiya, especially if he's using Sage mode. I lean towards that. I probably would say Jiraiya, especially if Kisame says it himself. So probably Kisame. So, I mean, excuse me, Jiraiya. I think Jiraiya would win it. So
I was like, whoa, you changed your mind real quick right there.
Yeah. Let's see. If you switch out Minato and put Hiruzen versus Yellow Mask Obito, would Hiruzen win? Fuck no. He would get fucking Kamui'd immediately. Yeah. He's getting Kamui'd. Cell Games Goku versus Saitama. Cell Games Goku.
What?
Okay, so
Cell Games Goku. Oh my
Goku,
god.
you gotta argue, was he stronger than Cell? This is always discussed and debated and all this shit. I don't. Do you guys think he was stronger than Cell? Than the Cell that he
What?
fought and like he kind of gave in. He's like, I quit. Gohan, it's your turn. Like Gohan fight. Do you think he was stronger than Cell, or was he weaker than Cell? It's kind of hard to tell.
Goku Cell game. Fuck. I don't.
It's hard to decide.
I don't think so. I don't really think so.
You still,
I
yeah,
don't
you
think
still
it's
think he was like in the same weight class, but possibly,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but possibly inferior. Yeah, I agree. I think he was in the same weight class, but I think he was inferior. I think over time it would have gone towards Cell's favor. So I would say Goku is below solar system level because Cell blatantly says, "I could destroy this solar system." He literally says that, so he's solar system level. Now Goku's below that, and now you got to take into consideration Saitama. His most recent feat was destroying many stars to many galaxies. So I think you could put him at solar system or above that. So I would say Saitama probably beats that Goku. Because Goku wasn't solar system level yet. Saitama more than likely is above solar system level. So probably Saitama. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Because Saitama is starting to reach new levels. He doesn't beat current Goku. Current Goku fucking slays him right now. But he beats that Goku, I'd say. Yeah, I think empirically that holds too.
I would have to agree on that, even though I'm a huge Goku fan, but I probably have to agree on that.
You guys are kind of smart. Hey, appreciate it. We do our homework, man.
Say kind of smart.
Kind of.
I think
Is he disrespecting us?
You being mean? No, I'm just kidding.
You want to get banned?
Do you want to get banned? Calculating character.
You want to get perma banned? Huh?
You want to get shadow banned? I'm just kidding. That shit is real.
I'll send them to the shadow realm.
Calculating character capabilities along with their fighting styles and jutsu. I'm about to check your vids out more. Yeah, check out our shit, man. I go pretty in depth, honestly, to a professional level. Not to brag. I think I go.
By the way, I know. Oh, wait, go ahead.
Oh yeah, and yeah, when we talk about stuff, we try to go in depth, like to a very.
If you want to see,
degree. Yeah.
In my opinion, if you guys want to check out the most in-depth video of our debates, I'll probably check out the Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali video.
Yeah, you should watch our debate on that. That one was really in-depth.
That was the most in-depth video or thing I've ever done in my life, and it was the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah, that was really in-depth. If you guys want to know like the intricacies of boxing and the smallest of details that could change the trajectory of a fight, watch our debate on that because we got really in-depth on their techniques, their flaws, their strengths. Mike Tyson and Ali, that was really in-depth, honestly. So
definitely a great video. Definitely recommend checking it out if you want to learn more about boxing or just about fighting in general. It's a great video.
Yeah, we put all the big guns in that debate. Kisame gives him totally high diff. It's fair. I think he would give him a hard time. I agree with that. Saitama takes it high diff. Yeah, arguably, unless you think he destroyed multiple galaxies, then he scales way above, because there's many solar systems in a singular galaxy. So you can only extrapolate.
That is true.
You can only extrapolate how many solar systems would be in multiple galaxies, which is also ambiguous. It'd probably be anywhere from hundreds to possibly millions to possibly quintillions. Who knows? Galaxies are quite vast in comparison to solar systems. The proportionality is ridiculously larger. So yeah, in that case, he would low diff in probably one shot. But if you consider him to only destroy stars, then yeah, it's a different conversation. So he wasn't Saitama. Okay, I just read that. But Frog Song can GG. True. I forgot about the auditory genjutsu that I used against the Pass the Pain. Correct?
Oh, yeah.
If he's fast enough to get him in it. If he's fast enough. Or if he's able to trick him and strategize around that. But then again, you might be able to argue if they're in the water dome, he won't be able to use it. But that's if he's able to get that off. Well, he kills Cell high diff. That Goku might just get bodied. Okay, yeah. Zabuza versus Yamato. Yamato's a hard guy to scale. I mean, he uses his wood jutsu. He's obviously blatantly inferior to Hashirama. What do you guys think? Zabuza versus Yamato. That's a tough one. Because Yamato's
Zabuza.
Yeah, Zabuza, the one that fought Kakashi, like the first in part 1 Naruto at the very beginning. Or Yamato.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Do you think he beats Yamato? Yamato has like no feats. That's the problem.
I don't think that's a tough one for me, to be
Wait,
honest.
Nagato? Wait, what'd you say? I'm
Yamato,
sorry. What was the other guy?
You know, the guy that replaced Kakashi in Shippuden, the guy that uses wood style, the Yamato.
Oh, yeah.
The guy that was there when he was leading Sai, Naruto, and Sakura to Sasuke.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. You think he beats Zabuza? Guru Yamato.
Fuck. I feel like it does. It's just the wood style. It's just wood styles are like superior in terms of their clones too, because their clones are the only ones that have been known to be able to take more hits than an actual like regular shadow clone.
Yeah, someone said Guru Yamato. Oh yeah, that's an amplified Yamato. That one beats Zabuza. That's like the war arc, yeah. But Yamato and base are like regular Yamato. You gotta kind of scale him to Part 1 Kakashi. Is he stronger than Part 1 Kakashi? I don't even know if he reaches that level, to be honest.
I don't think so. I don't think.
I would lean.
I don't think Yamato.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yamato beats Zabuza.
I would lean towards Zabuza. I would lean.
I mean, yeah, but Yamato. Am I saying it right? Yamato?
Yeah, Yamato. Yeah.
Yamato has the wood style, but like it's only good for like certain types of jutsus. Like it could contain Naruto, but
yeah, and that's only for like Tail Beast Chakra. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
he'll be able to handle.
It's made for sealing and literally defensive, offensive, if he wanted to.
Yeah, like
he could technically.
Yeah, if Zabuza uses his Demon Mist, he won't be able to see shit, and he fucking slashes his throat. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is,
I'll go with Zabuza on that one, for sure.
Yeah. I think Zabuza. You also got to take into consideration. That wood style users are not all created equal. Not everyone that has wood style is fucking Hashirama. So Yamato is he's a poor man Hashirama, and that's an overstatement. He's like insanely inferior to Hashirama from a power style point. He's nowhere near Hashirama. He's like a poor man Hashirama, yeah. So definitely he's inferior to Sasuke, he's blatantly inferior. So probably Zabuza. Sakura War Arc. Oh, here we go with Sakura.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
God.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, I hate Sakura, but she punched Kaguya. That puts her above everybody in fucking Shippuden except like the last people that are the strongest. So Sage Naruto would get fucked up by War Arc Sakura. She fucking she hit Kaguya and broke her fucking horn. Kaguya is a fucking Otsutsuki. Solar system level. She is stupid as fuck. I'll give you that.
I can't believe you're saying this, Jimmy. I can't believe you're saying this.
I hate saying it. Shit. That bitch fucking dodged. She tanked Jubidara attack, and then she was still strong enough to dodge fucking Kaguya's hands, and then she's fast enough to fucking punch Kaguya in the back of the head. So I mean, I can't say anyone would really beat her except like Naruto, Sasuke, Kaguya, DMS, Kakashi. That's it. So I'm sorry, guys. It's just the way it is. As much as I hate to say it, as much as
unbelievable.
I hate it. And I don't
like
her. So.
You're shadow banned from your own Discord now.
I'm gonna get shadow banned now because I said that.
You're shadow banned from your own Discord now.
Sage Naruto is fodder for War Arc Soccer. Yeah, unfortunately that's the case. You're right. Let's see. What you guys say here? What do you think about that, Sebastian? I remember when we debated that? Madara versus fucking Sakura. Oh my god.
Okay, fucking Sakura, because she literally her power scaling in that time
it's insane.
It's insane.
She's fucking broken, even though she doesn't deserve that power, to be honest. But she has it.
Talk about plot armor, right? No,
oh fuck yeah, that is fucking plot armor to the max. It's bullshit. But yeah, I guess no shit talkers had the guts to come in here. It's too bad.
Well, Jimmy, I gotta head out now. I gotta go. I'm going to my grandpa's birthday party right now, so I'm gonna head out. It was awesome.
Yeah,
it was awesome being a part of this. I definitely want to do this more often.
Oh yeah, we gotta do this like monthly or some shit.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. It was nice. It was fun being here. I'll see you guys next time. Do another podcast soon, hopefully.
For sure, we have to.
Thank you, guys. Shout out to the fans. Send out the questions. Being subscribers to the Discord too. If you're not in it, join it.
Yeah, join the fucking Discord, community. Man. Join the fucking Discord.
Definitely be a part of it. Yeah. All right. I'm out. Peace.
All right, peace out. Yeah, we'll go a little longer, 20 minutes maybe, and we'll wrap it up too. Nagato Edo. Oh, this is the oldest question in the book. Edo Nagato versus Edo Itachi. What do you think, Sebastian? I mean, didn't we see that fight? Didn't we see it in the manga?
Didn't we see it?
Didn't Edo Itachi fucking blitz him and fucking seal him like he was not even moving? He sealed him? Like, didn't that happen? Didn't that happen?
Like, did we forget about reaction speed
did we
and
forget
like
he failed to react? Yeah. Didn't we see that? I guess
that's crazy. It's like it happened.
It's like we already seen this. It's like deja vu. So
it's like you play a part in the editing. It's like you show the picture. The fucking.
It's like I feel like I kind of saw this fight happen.
Yeah, why does this feel familiar? Huh.
Yeah,
but yes.
Yeah.
To answer that question for you.
Edo Itachi. And the people that use these dumbass arguments, let's break down each one. He was controlled by Kabuto. Kabuto simply removes your personality and makes you go into machine-like mode where your reaction are at maximum. So there's that.
Yeah, exactly.
2, people say he got caught off guard the first time. How come Killer B didn't catch him off guard when he was ripping Naruto's soul out? How come he popped an arm out and caught Killer B before he could hit him? But all of a sudden he's not reacting to Itachi? Oh, very coincidental. Very coincidental. 2, it was on multiple occasions where he got caught. On more than one occasion he got caught. First time when he saved Naruto and B. Second, he seals him immediately. 2, the Chubaku Tensei argument. Well, Itachi can't destroy it. You can't prove that. You can't prove whether he can or can't. And just because he asked for help, that doesn't mean that he can't destroy it. That means that he's intelligent and he knows the odds of breaking it are greater if he has more than just him using his ninjutsu. That doesn't prove he can't break it. Can I prove he can? No, but you can't prove he can't either. So empirically,
and that's literally a guy who is a sensory type user too.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm gonna just say that out loud. Like, and he's still.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's still without feet, bro. You cannot beat that. You literally cannot.
Yeah. So, in conclusion, the burden of rejoinder is on the Nagato side because there isn't shit for him besides the Chubaku Tensei, which is speculative. It's not empirical. Can't prove anything. Kishimoto wrote it that way for a reason. So ask him why he wrote it like that. But yeah, there's an argument for both. But Itachi's argument's stronger, much stronger.
Much
stronger. Okay, I get your point. Itachi wins. Sasori versus Datara then. I mean,
Sasori versus Datara.
Datara admits that Sasori's stronger. I mean, just Sasori. I mean, he did admit it.
Do you guys?
Sasori said Datara's like, I guess he's stronger than me. Yeah, he's stronger, unfortunately. So yeah, Sasori wins. To be completely honest, it's really the Tosuke blade. We see my boy get sealed, so it kind of ends there. Yeah, I mean, it happens when you have hacks, you know? It happens when you have hacks. You get fucking sealed. It's a very powerful ability that Itachi gets to wield. And the Yadamir, so. Alright, folks, keep asking your questions. Ayo just caught up and send me to the Shadow Realm if you want. For sure. What efficiency of potential strength do you think Tobirama could utilize as Edo's summons? Since he is the pioneer of it, his is probably the most inefficient version of Edo's. You can kind of extrapolate that from the improvement we see from Orochimaru using it against Hiruzen until the War Arc where Kabuto improves it, and then because Orochimaru was in Kabuto, he has those memories and he improves it even further, I would argue, maybe, possibly. So I would say Tobirama's Edo summoning jutsu was probably the shittiest. They're probably like 20% of their original strength, like fodder, which still would make a difference if you summon someone like Madara or something. But yeah, I would say they were pretty weak. They were pretty weak. I would argue Orochimaru's Edos against Hiruzen were only like 40%, 30-40%, maybe 50. That's a stretch. But Tobirama's would probably be no more than 30%, 20 to 30, maybe less than that. So. What do you think, Sebastian? Do you think Tobirama's Edos were the shittiest since he was like the first one to use it?
I'd have to say so, because when it comes to original user standards of like the Jitsu alone, of course they're gonna have a better quality of it. Depending, like when you talk about Jitsus, especially like Minato even admitted that his Jitsu wasn't even fully completed, and then Naruto completed it, and then he knew that you could add. Yeah, it's true. And then he figured out that you could add elements to it to make it even more stronger. Yeah, like he hadn't gotten to that point.
Yeah, I agree. It's like they build upon the jutsus. Like someone sets the path, they set the stage for it, and then you build upon it. Like,
But is it always going to be better? Nope. It
yeah,
just depends on the person.
it's not always gonna be better, but yeah, I think the Edo's continuously improved as the timeline went on. So there's that third rate Kage versus fourth rate Kage. Oh god. We could say this: the fourth rate Kage is superior to Killer Bee. Killer Bee is a perfect Jinchuriki. The perfect Jinchuriki scales over the 8-tail, and the third rate Kage stalemated the 8-tail. So the fourth rate Kage is stronger. That's what you could say.
I mean, that's why they literally become Kage. You know, just
Killer Bee stronger than the 8-tails. The third rate Kage stalemated the 8-tails, and rate Kage stronger than the Killer Bee. So, yeah, there you guys have it.
It's always funny when they put like Hokages, Reikages, Kazakages, because they always pull out the fact it's like, oh, they're strong in their village and nation. Yeah, they're supposed to represent like their nation, but it doesn't make them all equally as strong as the other.
Exactly.
Like Sanade was stronger than the third Hokage, but he was quicker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like physical strength, yeah, she was superior, but he's faster than her. So that's the advantage he has. Someone said, can Minato break the contract between Orochimaru and the Edo Tensei? Since it's a summoning, and Minato can break the contract of a summon. I don't know. The only way, he can't use any dojutsu like Itachi did with the Kodomatsukami. He would need to be able to physically control his own body, I think, to be able to break the contract. I don't think it's a mental thing. So probably not. Unless he's strong enough to break out of it. Like Tobirama and Hashirama were implied to be strong enough to break out of Orochimaru's Edo. He even states it. So possibly. It's probably possible. Something else I want to talk about. Sebastian, I don't know if you've seen my videos about where I debunk people saying Naruto's universal. Have you seen any of those? I posted them like a few weeks ago.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, so basically, there's people out there that are so fucking dumb that they say that Naruto is universal because of stupid ass statements in the data books that are hyperbolic, and because Kaguya created a parallel universe. That means that the universe is the same size as ours, because they don't know what fucking parallel means. Parallel means that two adjacent lines, if you were to transverse every point where they meet, it would be of equal distance. That's all that means.
Which is wrong.
Yeah, and people think that means that parallel means that two lines have to be the same length. They don't have to be the same length. You could have a 10-foot line and a 5-foot line. They could still be parallel. Because at every point where you could transverse them, they're of equal distance. That's what people don't understand. I learned that shit in fucking 4th grade. And because of that, they don't know what that fucking means. They say that Kaguya is universal. That's fucking stupid. Look up parallel. Google image parallel lines. There's fucking pictures of lines with different lengths. I've been debunking a few guys with that dumbass fucking argument. It's fucking
Must have been fun.
It's fucking dumb. Like, it really is. And then they use the movies, which aren't canon. They use, like, the Road movie, where there's fucking a whole different timeline continuity and a bunch of other shit happens. You're like, oh, they said that these dimensions mirror each other. I'm like, dude, there's explicit contradictions to the main continuity. Yeah, Kishimoto was a part of it. It doesn't mean it's fucking canon. If he says it is, okay. He never fucking said that, though, at least to my knowledge. You know, one of the novel writers of the Naruto novel says it wasn't canon. It wasn't Kishimoto, but one of the writers said that the only canon material is the original manga. That's what one of the novel writers said.
Huh.
And then they fucking said, and people are like, well, Kishimoto didn't say it. I was like, well, Kishimoto didn't negate it either. He didn't fucking refute it. And I'm pretty sure.
I know he has to say it.
Yeah, if he goes out and says, no, that's not true, it is canon, then okay. I can't argue that. But he never refuted that. So how are you going to tell me that one of the novel writers that works alongside Kishimoto, who illustrates, is not right about that? It's not canon, man. I'm fucking sorry. So fucking Kaguya is not universal. As simple as that. It's fucking dumb. And there's guys that made video. If you go to my channel, like a few videos back, there's guys that make videos and they're trying to claim that Kaguya and Naruto are universal or multiversal. It's fucking stupid.
No. Far fucking from it, my guy.
They're way far from that shit. And then they use the argument of hyperspace, time space. Guys, time space is simply means that a multi-dimensional universe contains time. You know that our universe contains time? Did you guys know that? That's a time space. Do you know that according to Einstein's theory of relativity, our universe is 4D as well? We have 2 spatial dimensions, 1 temporal dimension. That means we're fucking 4D. According to Einstein's fucking theory of relativity, which has been proven through many observational means. Look it up. It's peer-reviewed articles, all that shit. So Kaguya is not above in dimension to Naruto's dimension, where there is time as well. There's clearly time in Naruto's fucking dimension as well. That doesn't mean she exceeds in dimension in comparison to everyone else. So the whole time-space shit doesn't work. It doesn't indicate she's a higher dimensional being. So keep that in mind as well. Open your
Because
fucking
apparently you gotta
eyes.
keep reminding
I'm just
them.
kidding. Let's start
Yeah.
yelling. I'm like, fucking open your fucking eyes. I'm just kidding. Imagine I'm all mad about it. But
Because
yeah.
apparently you have to keep reminding them, right?
Yeah, like parallel doesn't mean equal lines, dude. Fuck. You know how many people have said it means it's equal in line? The lines are equal in length. No, it doesn't, dude. Fuck. You know what? I'm gonna do this real quick. Let me see if I could share my screen real quick. I'm going to fucking prove it right fucking now. All right, let me search up parallel lines. I'm using Google, folks. I'm using Google. Let's see. Let me share my screen. Let me do another. Give me a second, folks. I think I can switch real quick. Let me show you guys. All right, you guys see that? Oh, look! Different lengths. They're parallel.
Isn't that nuts?
I didn't think that was possible. Oh my god. Kaguya is not universal? I thought she was universal. Oh my god. Wow. Wow. I am shocked. How about this? Let me search this up. Are parallel lines of equal length? Let's look that up. Are they? Let's find out. Let's see. Do parallel lines have to be the same? What the fuck? What does this one say? Okay, this is using a theory of infinity, so it doesn't mean they're equal in length. They're trying to claim that all lines are, in fact, infinite because there's infinite points. We're talking about the line segment, okay? Not the fucking lines. Because everything is infinite if you go to that pedantic level. No. This equal distance of product times. Oh, wow. Really? Where was it? I just saw the fucking... You guys get the point, man. You guys get the fucking point.
Gotta show it again, man. Gotta show it again. Make sure.
Can parallel lines be different lengths? Let's see. Point is, it's possible. There you guys fucking have it. Alright, let me go back to... There you go. Alright, folks. I had to... That's just very upsetting. Albert Einstein versus Stephen Hawking. Who's smarter?
Oh my god, Harry.
That's a really tough question. Who do you think's smarter?
First of all, that's a very, I don't know. I feel like that's a very unethical question because both of the sciences were completely different.
Yeah,
like that's
different fields of discipline. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hawking was more like astronomy and shit like that, and fucking Einstein was more physics.
Yeah. So to even
let's look up their IQs. Hawking's versus Einstein.
I think Hawking might have been a little smarter.
I think he might have a higher IQ. Let's see. IQ. And according to my opinion, Einstein was more intelligent than Stephen Hawking because Einstein was known for research and development on theory of relativity. Okay. Who's better, Einstein or Hawking? In terms of mathematical ability, Einstein will not come close to matching today's leading physicists. Yeah, because there's more information that's been discovered. That doesn't mean he's fucking dumber.
Dumb, yeah, exactly. It just means there's more
that's
to
like
know
saying
now.
Who's smarter, Socrates or fucking Elon Musk? I mean, Elon Musk knows more about advanced technology. So, I think they're close though in IQ. I would go with Einstein probably, personally. If you argue he could break the seal, then it kind of stops there. He can't control what they do afterwards, like with the Nine Tails, but he could probably just clap Orochimaru right after. Okay. Alright. Which version of War, Kakashi, and Guy are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about the beginning. I was talking about the beginning of the war. I mean, when they were fighting the Bijou. Full power Kakashi without DMS and 7th Gate Guy. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Okay. Alright, folks, if you have any more questions, feel free. Go a little longer here. Go a little longer. Yeah, I was expecting some red pill fucking questions, but not today.
No.
During the streams, I've had a few. All right, folks. Feel free to ask some more questions. It can be anything as controversial as you want at this point. I've answered some fucking controversial shit. So. And yeah, thanks, Sean, for reminding. Hit the like button, folks. Gets us up in the algorithm. Let's try to get this one as high as possible, maybe 30 likes. People watching the recording or watching live. The more likes, the more eyeballs, and the more interactive these shows become. So, appreciate it.
Damn, no Marvel questions, really?
I know, on the last couple streams, I had a lot of Marvel questions. They were asking,
like, I'm ready.
Yeah, I like Marvel. I've been reading a lot of Marvel comics, actually. And DC.
It's interesting concepts, man. Like, they have some interesting shit going on.
Definitely. Yo, what up? What's going on? Neo, I think that's how you say your name. Thanks for coming in. Do you agree with the swag and 6 Sasuke versus Guy versus Vid? It's been a while since I've seen that. I don't remember the claims. But I'll just answer who I think would win. Depends on the versions. EMS Plus probably beats... no, actually. 6 Pass Sasuke Plus beats any version of Guy, clearly, including 8 Gates. EMS Sasuke against 8 Gates will probably lose. And I think it gets more contentious as we go down. Like 5 Kage Summon Sasuke versus 7th Gates Guy. I might lean towards Guy, maybe. Tough one. Far, does Spider-Man get in My Hero Academia? Have you read that, Sebastian, from My Hero Academia? I have it, so.
Well, what was it?
My Hero Academia. Someone asked, how far would Spider-Man get in My Hero Academia? I've never read that. I've never read this.
So I haven't gotten that far, but I do know the basis of it. So for Spider-Man, he has super strength. He has somewhat of a healing factor. Somewhat. It's debated, really.
Yeah, it's definitely.
He does get stronger over. He does get stronger over time. Like in the comics, I think there was a canon comic where, he's like an adult, he's older, and he was able to go against Hulk like straight out, like there.
Yeah. When he had like cosmic powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, he has webbing that is strong as fuck. He would probably be still. I think he'd still be like a top ranked hero, but not top. Like maybe I give him 7th or 6th. Yeah. Only because there are heroes that have way more unique powers than him. I'm just sorry to say that. Yeah. Well, like Spider-Man, even in his universe, is not even that powerful.
Yeah, in his universe, fucking fodder compared to fucking Universal. But I haven't read it, so I can't really answer that. But yeah, Sebastian answered that for you. Do you guys know about soccer? I only watched like big games like the World Cup, stuff like that. I watch Messi if he's on TV, if I happen to scroll by or some shit. But I don't really watch soccer like that. Sebastian, you watch soccer? No.
Soccer? What is it called?
Like soccer, like Messi or Ronaldo, like this sport? Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, not really. What you guys can ask, UFC, anything. I know basically everything about it. Boxing, I know a lot of the history. NFL, ask anything. NBA, a little bit of baseball, not really, so probably avoid those. But yeah, you can ask that as well. All right, someone asked, this is a good question. Doctor Strange versus Doctor Fate. What do you think about that? DC versus Marvel.
Dr. Fate is controlled by a cosmic entity.
Yeah.
Which is giving him powers, and Doctor Strange has powers
like
of his own.
Self-earned, yeah.
Yeah.
And hasn't he beaten like extremely powerful fucking like universal concepts like Dormammu, I think was his name, like King of Hell or some shit. Doctor Strange beat that. I think he's really fucking powerful. I'd probably say with Doctor Strange. I don't know Doctor Fate's feats too much. But he doesn't seem to be on the level of someone like Doctor Strange.
Dr. Fate, their power is definitely limited, depending on the host, really. Like, if you really let's just say that Dr. Fate, it just really does depend on the host.
Yeah,
because you can be like a normal person, have all those powers and have all that shit, but you're still controlled by the cosmic being. And it's controlled, Fate is controlled by that god, and he decides who he wants to attack. And if he doesn't see them as like an opponent worth attacking, then he won't. But if he did, then I don't know. I'd
Yeah,
still give it to Strange
yeah,
because he just has more
and with what I know,
versatility.
from like I'll admit it's a subjective lens that I'm looking at this, but Doctor Fate seems to be more like a hacks character dealing with like fate manipulation, obviously from his name itself. He doesn't seem like a battle character as much. I mean, I'm not super well read in Doctor Fate literature, but he seems to be less of a battle type character. I think Doctor Strange is better, from what I know. Again, I'm not a fucking expert, but I would probably go with Doctor Strange. All right, so someone said Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke versus Seven Gates guy. All right, so the versions matter here. I would argue Taka Sasuke that fought Killer Bees weaker than 5 Kage Summon Sasuke. So the one that had the best odds would be 5 Kage Summon Sasuke. Probably when he's like his chakra is the coldest according to Karin. He has more hacks than Guy. He has a Susanoo. Now against Seven Gates Guy, he's able to take on Bijou. I think Sasuke is above that. I might lean towards 5 Kage Summon Sasuke because he can scale to the Raikage to some extent, and the Raikage is above the third Raikage, and the third Raikage is relative to the Eight Tails. So I think empirically, transitively, I'd lean towards Sasuke. If it's Taka Sasuke, the one that fought the Killer Bee, I mean, he was still part of Taka, but he kind of like left that affiliation, betrayed Kari and Jugo. He didn't give a fuck about them at the 5 Kage Summit, but I would lean towards towards Seven Gates Guy. If it's beginning MS Sasuke, I would lean towards Guy probably. It's ambiguous though. It's ambiguous because it's hard to scale, to be honest. Okay. Dr. Fate no diffs. You might be right. Again, I'm not like super well versed in the literature, so don't quote me on my opinion. It's a subjective lens. Strain takes it. Strain got some busted versions. Oh yeah, I know that. High key Sasuke.
Wait a second. Did somebody say Dr. Fate would win? No diff?
Someone said no diff. I'm not familiar
But
with
like,
like that, but
so here's the thing. If I were to take off his helmet, yeah, give or take, it's strong, but you can technically use it, especially if you're, let's say, somebody like the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah,
you would be able to take it off, and then like,
fucked.
and he's powerless.
Yeah, that's the thing. He
that's
has
the difference. You can't take away.
Yeah,
his powers,
can't take away Strange powers. Not as easily. Yeah, you can't like take off his fucking glove or some shit like Fate. Okay, high key Sasuke is a legitimately better character than Naruto. Everyone whines about him wanting revenge, but he had an actual reason to be the way he is. Dude had his family die in his face. Okay, let's break down that statement. Everyone whines about him wanting revenge. I would say I never whined about it personally. I think his conviction was logical enough. It was reasonable, especially Itachi fucking eliminating his whole family in front of his fucking eyes. So I get the anger, the resentment. He was a misstraught kid. He was a misstraught kid who didn't know how to get the power he needed to beat Itachi. And what broke the camel's back is when Itachi kind of sunned him when he tried to go fight Itachi in part 1. Sunned him, tried to Chidori him, and he fucking fodderized him like he was trash. That broke the camel's back. So that kind of built resentment and made him to the point where he left with the Sound 4 and joined Orochimaru. Is he a better character than Naruto? I think Naruto might be more complex, more relatable to a certain extent. He's like the underdog. That's the whole theme behind Naruto. He's the underdog of all underdogs. Goes from fodder, being treated like shit as a kid, to being the top dog in the entire Shinobi world. So it's subjective. I mean, if you want to say Sasuke's a better character, cool. I wouldn't say that's crazy. But it's arguable whether he's the best character. Minato's up there, Itachi's up there, Kakashi. So, someone asked Aquaman versus Namor. Are you familiar with Namor? Let me look him up.
Namor, he's the Marvel version of
Aquaman.
Of Aquaman, but he's like, okay, so Namor is complicated because he does have some similar abilities compared to Aquaman, but he's a mutant, so he gets other powers so he gets flight.
Oh shit!
Which Aquaman doesn't have.
Doesn't have that. Oh,
but if we're really going out, they're going to be fighting in the water in general because that's where their base powers come from.
Yeah. Who do you think's stronger?
Namor doesn't have the ability, from what I know. Somebody can tell me otherwise, but from what I know, he doesn't have the ability to control aquatic creatures, or at least not in depth as Aquaman. And Aquaman does have a trident.
Yeah, and from like the naked eye, Aquaman's I feel like he's a contentious character to scale because I see versions that he's like going toe to toe with Superman as far as strength and feats, and I see versions where he's fucking fodder. So it really depends on the continuity
Yeah, it
of
really does.
Aquaman. If it's like an upper tier Aquaman, he'd probably be based on Namor. From what I do know of Namor, so I'd probably go with Aquaman, most likely. Dr. Fate survived the first crisis on Infinite Earth, which I basically the erasure of DC original universe continuity and forced himself into the new universe that formed afterwards. Yeah, both of you guys are having same feats. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they both would have the same equal feats.
And they're like kind of. I think they're purposely mirror each other because they're like the versions of each other in their own universe in a way.
Just like Aquaman and Namor, except difference being that
or like Batman
the story.
And Iron Man. Yeah, basically, yeah. All right, folks. Any more questions here? Go about 10 more minutes. Thanks for all the questions. Thanks for all the donations. And we don't bite, by the way, in the call-in. Unless you want to talk shit, we're going to bite. So just know that. But no one talks shit, so we appreciate it. I mean, I kind of wanted some violence, but it's fine. All right, Tsunade versus the 4th Raikage. Oh, shit. Tsunade probably has more blatant strength as far as from a physical aspect. The Raikage is faster. As far as how much faster is ambiguous.
Tsunade versus who?
Versus the 4th Raikage. Who do you think wins that?
What are we talking timeline though? Which one are they talking about? Like, are they talking after? Like, I just don't know.
Let's talk about the strongest. Like 4th Raikage version 2 cloak, like full speed versus 100 healings. Tsunade that fought Madara. Who do you think would win that? It's the speed thing that it comes down to the speed, honestly. How much faster is the Raikage? That's the question. And then, can he hit hard enough to fucking kill Tsunade with 100 healings? If anything, she might be able to outlast him, possibly, because she's so fucking durable that, unless he's able to cut her in half or some shit, if he has the AP.
Yeah.
If he like slices her with like a full speed attack, cuts off her head or some shit. So it really comes down to what you believe the gap in speed is. You have to kind of quantify that based off their feats, like extrapolate their feats, compare the speed feats, try to create like a qualitative assessment of their speed, and then kind of go from there. So I think the Raikage, let's see, the Raikage is quite a bit faster, I'd say, but I don't think enough to fucking blitz her. I'll say that. So yeah, War Arc Tsunade. Yeah, I think War Arc Tsunade would probably win. Yeah. All right, someone said Naruto is a lot of things, but an underdog, nah. Really? He was treated like shit for his childhood. He had no friends, no parents. Heroes didn't even fucking watch over him like he told Minato. He was villainized to the point where he almost went rogue. I would argue that if fucking Iruka didn't come into his life and change it the way he did, he probably would have went rogue and become fucking Obito 2.0. I think he was a heavy underdog. He was treated like fucking shit the whole time until the Pain arc. Called it piece of shit, weak ass motherfucker, like fodder. Even when he was saving Sakura was treating him like shit. Like, he's definitely an underdog. Definitely an underdog. So now he's lazy when it counts. I heavily disagree. Look at the Rasen Shuriken training. Look at the fucking KCM1 training. Look at all the Rasengan training where he fucking collapsed from exhaustion. Look at him almost fucking dying fighting Sasuke. Like, bro, he's not fucking lazy. That's not true. But talks about how he was disadvantaged academically. The Sexy Juice is an example of this. That's a custom technique. That's more of a gag real moment. That's not something to take that legitimate, to be honest. Tsunade hits harder and can heal from attacks greater than the Raikage can output. Fair. Madara faster than Raikage. I don't know about that. That's contentious, but sure. Tsunade can react just as well as the Raikage, damn near, so she could probably react. Fair enough, though. Yeah, I do agree with the notion that the gap isn't that vast. I agree with that. Popeye versus the Mask. Oh shit! So this is like some movie crossover shit. Popeye is multi-dimensional. I've seen him like break reality or some shit, or transcend reality.
He does.
The Mask does some weird shit too. He like omnipotent.
He has the same abilities as the Reality Stone.
Yeah,
but,
he can like do like reality warping and reality creation. Who do you think would win, Popeye or the Mask? I think Popeye might be
only weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be because he doesn't give a fuck. But the
Yeah.
mask does have one particular weakness,
Uh-huh.
apparently in the comics canon, is that if you somehow can make the host like regret or feel bad, like if you put them in an emotional state to where they can't wear the mask, that actually come off them, it'll be easier for it to like
Oh, like if
get
they
it
get like
off.
a mental nerf, it'll be easier. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Popeye would talk that shit
but
too.
that's but like Jimmy, like we also have to say like that's debatable too because it also depends on the host. If you have some
Yeah,
sick fuck who does
exactly.
not have any morality and
Yeah,
is wearing the mask, he will
like a
massacre.
yeah, like a sociopath, like doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, that's true. That make
Hmm.
that so yeah, the host would matter. I think Popeye's just more broken, and he would talk that shit too. He would be like, "Bitch, you're not stronger than me." He like fucking put doubt in him and do like some transcendental reality type feat and fucking like make the mask shit himself. Probably the Popeye. Yeah, probably Popeye. Popeye would turn whoever wearing the mask into a coin, pretty much. The mask has better hacks. I don't know about that, man. Popeye's fucking broken,
No,
man. He's fucking broken, dude. Broken. I lean
you
towards
ever
Popeye.
seen? But have you ever seen a video where Popeye is literally knitting ship anchors? He's
Oh,
knitting the chain too. He knits it and then
yeah.
he makes the anchor.
Yeah, he's a fucking G. He's a fucking
I
G.
know.
Yeah, he's broken as fuck, man. He's like on some Bug Bunny, like Mickey Mouse shit. That's how broken he is. So, like some fucking Looney Tune shit. So yeah, probably Popeyes. Popeyes. The fucking chicken.
Popeye's just
Uh,
hungry.
the spinach amp is hilarious. Oh yeah, he gets fucking amped, man. That's like a sensu bean, fucking from fucking Dragon Ball. Plus the
Yeah, give
plus,
that guy some spinach.
yeah, it's times 1,000. So, all right, folks, a few more minutes. Any final questions, folks? Again, hit the like button. Gets us up in the algorithm. Let's see. Let's see. Tatsumaki versus all of My Hero Academia. Tatsumaki.
Tatsumaki. Who the Let
I
me
don't even know what the
read.
fuck that is, to be honest. Oh,
Hold on.
it's from One Punch Man. Also known by her hero alias Tornado of Terror. Do you know that person? Again, I don't read a One Punch Man.
Oh, her psych abilities are pretty good, and she was able to destroy a fucking I don't know. I think it's like a dragon level threat or something like that. Something similar
Yeah. Do you think she
to that.
beats the shit
Threw
out
a
of them?
fucking meteor.
Do you think she fucks up My Hero Academia? All of it? All of them?
She would. She would destroy him with like a meteor from space.
Oh yeah, yeah. I hear that show doesn't scale that high anyway. They don't get that powerful compared to like Goku or something. So makes sense. All right, folks. Telekinesis would sweep the entire show, to be honest. Yeah. All right, folks. A few more questions here. Unless someone donates, we'll stay a little longer. Appreciate all the donations, by the way, and everyone who called in as well. So. We're gonna be like Joe Rogan soon. No, I'm just kidding. Imagine. All right.
Hopefully. Like,
Bro, All Might is like mountain level. It's more about the story. Oh, okay, makes sense. Yeah, I know All Might and all those guys aren't that powerful compared to upper tier characters in anime. So. Captain Marvel versus Shazam. Oh shit.
Shazam.
Captain Marvel versus Shazam. I think Shazam kind of scales to Superman to some extent.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel's fucking powerful too, though. She has like
Captain
cosmic
Marvel is
blasts.
kind of,
Yeah.
but she's kind of overrated, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just...
It's kind of tough to assess who would win that one. Captain Marvel has cosmic energy. She could probably do some damage. Is she universal? I'm sure there's probably continuity versions where she is, but I might lean towards Shazam. I think there's just more lore around him. I mean, that's all speculation. I'm not saying I'm right, but on top of my head, from a subjective lens, I'd say probably Shazam. And as a character too. Android 18 versus Captain Marvel. What do you think about that, Sebastian? Android 18, current Android 18 from Super versus Captain Marvel.
Oh, Android 18.
Yeah, Android 18 is like relative to Android 17 to some extent probably slightly inferior, who fucking went toe to toe with a fatigued Jiren, and they were shaking the Infinite Void. So probably Android 18, yeah. And she's probably stronger now, currently in Super. Miracle Man versus Black Adam. Miracle Man. I might have to look that up. It's been a while since I've heard that name.
Fuck, I have to do it too. God damn it!
Yeah, let me see.
You fucking people
These are
making
more
me have to
obscure.
rethink shit.
Miracle Man. Known as Marvel Man is fictional. Okay. Is he part of the? Oh, he's part of the Marvel universe. Versus Black Adam. Okay. Let's look at the versus wiki real quick. That's where they scale his ass. Fuck, do they even have him? Fucking versus wiki.
I see one wiki.
Yeah,
he has flight, super strength, and vulnerability. Greatly increased intelligence, heightened senses, telekinesis, telepathy, concussive energy, blast.
Is he like universal? Okay. Black Adam probably he scales to Shazam too. Miracle Man. I'm not really sure. I'm not really familiar with his feats like that.
No, I feel Black Adam would probably win because I don't know if this, from my standpoint, because I don't know this guy, Mr. Miracle, because Black Adam, you got to remember he's thousands of years old. He has tons of experience with his powers. Yeah. He's literally can go toe to toe with Shazam, who is literally on equal terms of power compared. But because Black Adam is more knowledgeable, he's more of a fight.
Wait a minute. If this means Molecule Man, if Miracle Man is Molecule Man, this is a different story. If this is the same person, Molecule Man fucking fodderizes Black Adam. He's like outerversal, but I don't think that's the same person. So never mind. Yeah, from what I don't really know about Miracle Man, I'm just gonna say Black Adam. Not familiar with him.
Sorry, it's like a little biased, but it's because of knowledge.
Yeah. Thor versus Superman. Depends on what version. Again, it depends on what version.
Yeah, it depends on what version.
Mainstream, probably Superman. Probably Superman. If we're talking the strongest versions we've ever seen, the strongest version I know of Thor is I think like Thunder God Thor or some shit, where he could like damage. He can like damage the Celestial, which is with his lightning, which is like a multiversal being. That would fuck up mainstream Superman. But then there's versions of Superman that are beyond the multiverse.
Like Superman 1000.
Oh yeah, like Prime Superman 1 million or some shit, which he's even impervious to kryptonite. That would probably fuck up Thor. So, okay, so this is the movie here, MCU Thor. So the one from the Avengers movies versus Snyder cut Superman. So the one that fucked up Darkseid, and the Snyder cut on HBO Max. I mean, Thor did cut off Thanos' head, but that was a weakened Thanos after he lost the Infinity Gauntlet, and he was weakened. But he did.
I'd have to give it to.
Yeah, remember when I do remember though. Remember when Thanos said he should have aimed for the head. So he theoretically could have killed Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. So that puts him pretty fucking high. I don't think
fucking Thanos is that strong compared to
Darkseid.
To Darkseid.
Because he did do a universal feat though when he snapped his fingers, but Superman fucked up Darkseid. Well, he was strong enough to punch him back into like the portal shit in the Snyder cut. He was way stronger than the fucking little bitch from the original Justice League movie, that trash movie where he fucking fights.
Yeah.
What was his name again? Forgot that trash ass villain's name. Whatever that bitch's name was, he fodderized him. I probably would lean towards Thor. I think we really don't see shit on Darkseid. I don't know what he's capable of. I mean, he does try to infiltrate.
I think in this term, it just comes to like battle experience, and I would just have to give it to Thor.
Yeah, I don't know. Too. Yeah, Thor also one shot down. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was bringing up. It's a shame how Kakazu has all that life experience and is still fodder in the series. Yeah, Kakazu's like 1,000 years old. What's the difference between Chidori and Raikuri? That's actually a good question. Chidori versus Raikuri. Because they're both lightning-based attacks. We know that. Let's see. Whoops. Okay. So one is known as the 1,000 Birds Jutsu, right? The Chidori. The other one is known as the Lightning Cutter. Honestly, I might not know this shit myself.
Uh-huh.
I'll look this shit up. Maybe someone can enlighten
Enlighten
us.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Because they're essentially the same shit. I said Raikuri is an S rank jutsu. Chidori is an A rank jutsu. So maybe Raikuri is just like the next stage of evolution of the Chidori. That's all. That's what I would say. They're essentially the same though. Let's see. Yeah, basically most people say it's just a stronger version and refined version of the Chidori. How do you think Kirin would scale possibly mountain or hill level? Or the one that struck Itachi was like I would say hill level. I don't think that structure that he destroyed was a mountain. I would say it was like a large hill. So probably about a large hill. Now, adult Sasuke Kirin probably much stronger than that. So Chidori is a version of Raikuri. Yeah, basically. So. All right, folks. Let's say 3 more questions. 3 more, unless someone donates. Again, thanks for all the donations, by the way, and for all the members that'll be. And think about becoming a member, folks. You get badges. I'm probably gonna make members moderators. You get exclusive content that I only post on members only, and I'm gonna do a private Discord for all members as well. So.
Oh.
Would you say Karin has more chakra than Nagato? No, he does. She doesn't. And it could possibly wield the Rinnegan.
Oh shit! My headphones died.
We're almost there. So, Raikuri is an condensed version of Chidori that's specifically geared toward assassination. Would love to be a moderator. Yeah, I'll probably make members moderators soon. Probably the next one, next stream. Think about becoming one, folks. I'm gonna do a private Discord that only members could access. I'll probably be more active in that one compared to this one. I mean, I'm active here too, but I'm gonna be more active in that one. All right. Last reminder, hit the like button, folks. Let's try to get this video to 20 plus likes, possibly 30. All right, folks. Last couple questions here before we depart. All right. Any final questions? Let's see here.
I won't be able to hear the question.
Can you barely hear me again? Oh, you can't hear me? Yeah. Last final questions, folks. Any and all questions? Thanks again for the call-ins. Yeah, it was a good show. It was I would say it was a success for sure. By the way, we don't bite, so you know you guys can call in, ask whatever, say whatever. You can even talk shit, but again, we will roast you if you talk shit. So, but we allow it. I'm not simply just gonna kick you off immediately if you talk shit. I will respond and flame you and then kick you. So, all right. Someone said, "How strong do you think Sakura would be if she paired her strength with Earth style?" It's a good question. So having Earth style wouldn't necessarily make her stronger in a physical sense. It would just make her more versatile. So you could argue it would make her more and more capable and overall higher caliber of shinobi. You could argue, actually, to take back what I just said, you might be able to possibly argue her punches could have greater damage potential if she were to like theoretically put like earth around her hands and then throw punches, because a harder substance, right? You have a more dense substance going to a point of impact. You could argue it'd actually be stronger. So maybe you could argue that. So you could argue it'd probably make her a little stronger, but more so more versatile. So more so than stronger. All right, Sebastian, you hear me?
Hold up. What was the question? I couldn't hear it.
Someone said, "How strong do you think Sakura would be if she had Earth style also?"
Earth style?
Yeah, like if she had Earth style also as her like ninjutsu. Like Earth style ninjutsu.
She definitely would be more helpful, but I don't see how she would implement anything. I mean,
Yeah.
she was the only reason why she didn't have that much battle like knowledge and battle like action at
Yeah.
all is because her chakra. She didn't know how to use her chakra that well.
Yeah.
So
That's true. Okay, let's see. Who makes better music in your opinion, Tupac or Drake? What do you think about that, Sebastian?
think about what
Who do you think makes better music, Drake or Tupac?
Tupac.
I might have to go with Drake because I think he's more versatile than Tupac. I think Tupac's a better rapper. I don't know if he makes better music though.
Oh, then Drake. I think Drake is just he sounds smoother.
Yeah, he's more versatile too. Yeah. All right. How do you think Ashura path missiles and laser beams would work possibly advanced ninja tool? Crazy how in Storm 3 laser could destroy Shibaku Tensei. I mean, they could, extrapolate those abilities from a Renegon user. That could be a possibility. So most definitely, I think that is definitely a useful ability that these scientific ninja tools could be used for. And maybe theoretically, a good scientist could amplify the AP of those and the speed and make them even more dangerous. So yeah, I would say yeah. I think they could work greatly and be more powerful than what Nagato used. To be honest, when we see it already with certain abilities. So Earth style jutsu includes density control. Yeah, that's what I meant. She would have more dense fists. So, all right, folks. 5 more minutes. I know I said it like 5 minutes ago, but yeah, 5 more minutes. We'll conclude.
Well, Jimmy. Well, sadly, I had to bid you adieu because I got to get ready for work and everything.
Oh, for sure. Well, I was almost done anyway. Yeah, that's cool.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for having me on here, and this is great ass fucking. This was fun. Honest to God, I would do this maybe next month or 2 weeks after this. Just
Hell
let me
yeah.
know. Hit me up,
Yeah,
and
we gotta do this again, for
yeah,
sure.
we have a discussion.
Hell yeah.
And sorry. Thank you to everybody else for watching and leaving a like. You are very much appreciated on the Jay the Great channel and everything. I hope you continue to enjoy every one of his podcasts and everything, and keep enjoying because he will definitely make more of them more you support him. Anyways, good luck and see you guys.
All right, peace out. All right, folks. A couple more questions, like I said here. Naruto having Earth style doesn't make him hit any harder. Well, think about it like this. If you hit someone with a pillow, right, at 20 miles an hour, compared to hitting someone with a rock at 20 miles per hour, which will do more damage? Which has the potential to do more damage? The rock, right, because of the density. It's more dense. There's more volume within the parameters of the said rock compared to that of the pillow. Different material, different elements. So, could Sasuke regain his Renegon if he wanted with Hashirama cells? Theoretically, he could. I don't see why not if Madara did the same when he injected himself with Hashirama cells. I don't see the point of that narratively. It wouldn't really make sense because they're meant to be nerfed and there's meant to be a passing of the torch take place. That was the whole point. Also, take into consideration, he might not get 6 past powers back. He might get a Renegon like Madara, but he might not get 6 past powers. I think the Rene Sharingan, there's an argument, a theory that the Rene Sharingan was the link to the 6 past powers, and that Kurama was the link to Naruto's 6 past powers. That's a theory. I think it's a pretty good one, too. All right, folks. 3 more minutes. Jonin Minato versus Pain. Jonin Minato is already outspeeding the Red Kage at point blank range with casual ease. I would lean towards Minato because of the speed advantage. The only contentious aspect is Naruto claims Sage Mode has better reaction times than KCM, so maybe you'd have to differentiate that from combat speed from reaction time. I think Minato's combat speed would be superior to Pain's reaction times. The thing is, he reacted to fucking Minato, but then Naruto claims that Sage Mode has better reaction times. Well, then again, Minato had Sage Mode as well, so I would probably lean towards Minato. If anything, he could BFR him if things get too complicated. So, how fast do you think Shisui is since he was able to make all after images that were tangible? That's a tough question because you kind of got to scale him to others first. In the anime, at least, he's fucking inferior to Danzo speed wise. He was unable to react. But then you can counter and say, well, that's reaction time, not combat speed. That's a fair assessment. Clearly, he's very fast because he was able to do something of that caliber and make them tangible at that. He's definitely in the upper echelon of speedsters in the Naruto verse. He's up there. You know he couldn't because you need Indra and Ashra chakra. Hashirama cells didn't give him out of the Rinnegan just because it's Hashirama. It was because of the Indra Ashra thing going on. But, I mean, Sasuke and Naruto were Indra Ashra reincarnations as well. So, if anything, their chakra is equivalent in that aspect. Naked Doomslayer versus Master Chief. I say Naked Doomslayer so the fight can be equal. I'm not too familiar with either one, to be honest, but let's see here. Let's see. If he's naked, I would probably lean towards Master Chief, just from the eyeball test. Again, I'm not an expert, well versed in the literature of either one, but Hashirama is Ashra though, and Sasuke is Indra. Yeah. After Naruto was born, he should have technically been the new Ashra chakra, if that makes sense. Which character in Naruto do you think had the most potential but didn't get to use it or fulfill their potential? Probably Neji. They could have taken a different approach with him. Not Lee as well. Even now in Boruto, he should have 8 gates and be like a top dog in the shinobi world. Honestly, who else would be up there? Kimimaro had a lot of potential. Obviously, he was sick already, already dying. So I think he would have been a formidable foe as well in the future if they would have kept up with him. So yeah, those guys are some good picks. Shisui as well. Alright, folks. I think that is all the time we have. This was a W. Almost 3 hours. Thanks for all the call-ins, the donations. I'll answer this last question right here real quick. Do you think Base Lee surpasses Base Guy now? There isn't enough empirically to say, I could say definitively. I would say if he has 8 gates, it's possible. I would say it's most likely due to the power cliffing. It's probable, yeah. I think it's probable that he does surpass Base Guy now. So, but all right, folks, that will be all. Some final announcements here. There will be a debate. It might be live. I might do a live debate here on a controversial IRL topic. That's all I'll leave it at. Soon. It could be live. I might just record it. We'll see how that goes. Probably this call-in show. I'll try to do it monthly at least. I'll try to do monthly. The next big video project will be Sakura video. So that will be hopefully done next couple of weeks as well. The scripting is done. I just got to record it and edit it. And yeah, folks, this was a W. Thanks for all the donations. Hit the like button one more time. And last reminder to hit the like button to get us up in the algorithm. Keeps more eyeballs coming in, more people coming in. This is a W call-in show. Yeah, the more people that join, the more interactive it'll be. Again, we don't bite. Unless you talk shit, then we will bite. So keep that in mind. And I think that's going to wrap it up, folks. Thanks for coming in, and I'll see you on the flip side, folks. Peace out.